Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's a Long Story, a place where we roll dice, we tell stories, and we create magic. I'm gonna mute someone here because I'm hearing some weird background noise. Nope, it's not Kiki. Just do me a favor, gang. Just put yourself on mute just for a second. Cool. Hello. Welcome everyone. Super excited to get started on our game tonight. Before we get going on that, just a couple of announcements up front. Actually, sorry, I completely forgot and missed the most important part here. We are here with the Unearthed Arcanum. Everybody take a look at your camera, wave, and unmute, and say hi.
Hi.
Too late. Hi.
Hello.
For those of us who for those that don't know, we are a D&D live play stream that runs every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Obviously this is the Friday crew, having 4 parties living, breathing, running for their lives, and getting what will most likely be some sweet revenge in the same homebrew world, the beautiful, wonderful world of Imea. Before we get started, just a couple announcements. First and foremost, our one-shots for this month. We are running a drop-in, drop-out campaign that is a Humblewood campaign that I'm very excited to run. We are calling this campaign Humblewood Silk and Sunder. So a nice sort of a very cool combination of silly wackiness mixed in with some small dark undertones. Very excited to be running that. This month we are starting on Sundays with that. So we'll have a Sunday crew, and then in the month of May coming up, we will be running Saturdays as well. 2 of the Saturdays of this month will be the 13th and the 20th will be made for our very exciting team up with D&D Beyond and Start Playing. As one of the ADM from Start Playing, we were allowed to run a one-shot in celebration of D&D turning 50 this year. So we're very excited to run that. We're doing an old favorite for those that have played in, I believe, 1982, I think was when that came out. The Descent into the Caves of Sojkanth. Very exciting, very cool remastering of an old-fashioned dungeon crawl. So that is on the 13th and the 20th. The 13th right now at this point is actually fully booked up. So we are still looking for players for the 20th. So that is Saturday the 20th for this month. If you're interested in checking that out, please go to startplaying.games/GM/It's a Long Story. You can also check that out if you're watching on YouTube. It is on the video description below. And I will also put it in our live chat as well for our friends over at Twitch. If you are interested in supporting the channel, best way to do so is to like and subscribe in the various areas we have: our YouTube, our Twitch, and also our TikTok and our Instagram, of which you can see the links down below on all that. Nice clear sort of space for that. So please feel free to check that out. Our social media stuff kind of goes a little more into the behind the scenes of some of the specific minis or art sets of like some very important battle scenes that we've had, as well as some of our favorite clips. And I know this week we had 2 birthdays. My wife, Miranda, for one, and as well as Lorianne, or Eldrin, our Triton. 2 Mongoose crew birthdays. So exciting for that. What was I doing? Oh, I need to put in the link for that to check out that stuff. I breezed through a lot of that, but I'm trying to kind of make things a little more concise. I know there's a lot of stuff we want to get into tonight. So I don't think I missed anything. If I did, I'll bring it up later. Before we, who is doing the recap tonight? Awesome. Okay, cool. So before we jump into the craziness of the evening, we need to get a idea of where we left off with this party. So, Dan, please take it away.
So, where we left off, Nalani and Becky were still in the belly, tailing an old friend of theirs, Daphne, and another individual. they were about to inquire more about this individual, but they got a bad sense of things. So they decided it was best to pivot. Meanwhile, our friends Alistair, Huxley, and Little Man, Yori, were doing battle with the construct that Yori accidentally woke up by knocking over. With some daring do and risky behavior, they managed to, in fact, disable the construct and decided to continue working on the spear Little Man had with the immovable rod. Meanwhile, myself and Gwyn were busy studying away at the library. Um, Gwyn made some headway in one of the legends about the primordials, which she can definitely elaborate on at some other time in the future. Whereas I tried to help her out, but I got a little distracted because Callisto really was curious as to what the librarian Gerard actually was. He ended up kind of winning me over because I was a little distracted, so got up. And normally I'm really good with people, but me and Gwen have spent so much time having to put out our own interpersonal fires that I think I lost my touch because he caught the wrong idea. Trying to salvage it, I think I made it a lot worse. Gwen tried to salvage it. She even made it worse, so we decided to leave. Ran into both Nene and Becky, now in the form of Iliar, and we made our way to the fletching shop that Nalani has taken such a liking to because of the proprietor Lyra. I offered to help my man out after I realized that the real reason he was trying to go there. Gwen, realizing that I wasn't on my best game, tried to pull me back, but some things men just gotta help men do. But yeah, we've been really isolated, y'all. So that went pretty bad. It got so bad, Ilial just popped on Mask's mask and scryed on Brahm. In doing so, she decided to run after him. Gwen went in tow, and within their conversations, Iliar covertly revealed to Brahm she was in fact Kara, believing that she might be able to win him over as a potential ally, and that nearly cost her life if it was not for Gwyn coming in clutch with the magic missile. The girls make a narrow escape, slipping into invisibility, and I think that's the last Calypso caught a glimpse of things. But that's all rumor and conjecture.
All right, cool. Is there anything we missed, gang?
To be clear, only Gwyn is invisible.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up.
Because you can't do... I don't have twin spell.
No problem, yeah. Okay.
And also, another thing, too, is invisibility. How long does that last?
1 hour, but it's concentration.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. I thought that was 1 minute. Why? Great. Okay, cool. Anything else?
Wait, who cast invisibility on Gwen?
I did.
Do you need to make a concentration check? Did you get hurt? No, you got away. Never mind.
No, this was happened right after.
Yes. I'm confused. I've slept.
Okay.
I hope you have slept since last Friday.
To be clear, there was a moment on the dock where Siobhan's life was in jeopardy. Gwyn was able to, by a favor from a former patron, was able to appear close enough to be able to blast Brahm into the water, giving them a chance to escape. As they were escaping, Siobhan cast invisibility on Gwyn. Great, cool. So before we Yeah, I think that's everything. I'm still hearing something weird in the background, gang. It's like someone's doing laundry or something.
It does sound like a laundry machine. You're right.
Yeah. But we will
It's
work
Mitch.
with it. It's Mitch. Come on, man.
I was
So-
gonna say it could be me because there is laundry going downstairs, but I've been muted, so I don't know.
I think it's Clinton. I think it was right when Clinton, I saw a finger come up. Well, unmute and let's find out.
Hear it now?
No. So maybe it is Jess. Weird. It's all right. We'll make it work. Awesome. So we are now ready to jump in. Gwyn and Siobhan, I need you both to roll initiative for me, please.
$19.
Nice. Good start.
11.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, with the 11, I think we come into the scene as we hear the sounds of heavy breathing, footsteps as we have two figures, one of which is invisible, running through the streets of Imea, away from the docks, from the takes. As we come across the figure of Siobhan, right now currently looking like Becky or Ilyar?
Ilyar.
Cool. Running out. I will give the mechanics of what we know right now. With your guys' steps forward and being able to kind of get away for the most part, you guys are truly 200 feet away from Brahm. You also, Siobhan, you have beat Brahm in initiative. Gwyn, you have not. So giving everything kind of the point of order and seeing just in case if Brahm is able to get close. We will see. So, the top of the order, Siobhan, it is you. I would say give me a perception check.
$16.
16. What is going through Siobhan's mind right now as you're pacing?
She's pissed at Gwen right now. And she's also worried because she has to get... She doesn't know if running at Gwen's pace will get them out of there. But at least Gwen's invisible. But if she does anything, she's going to lose the invisibility.
Cool. So we'll say at this point, assuming that Gwyn is running beside... Yeah, the hard thing here is you're not even entirely sure where Gwyn is. I will say with that 16...
She did say she grabbed my hand at the end of the last one, and I imagine she was...
Okay, so it's still holding on. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So we'll say in this moment, Siobhan, you are very much aware that Gwyn is... that Gwyn is going to be slowing you down in this moment, at least for a turn. So a decision has to be made here. Are you going to go Gwyn speed? Or are you going to split off and hope that Gwyn is able to find a way out?
Gwen knows the way back to Huxley's from here, right?
Yes.
She's not gonna like this. She's gonna squeeze Gwen's arms and just say, "Get to Huxley's. I need you to get there," and then send a message to Nalani and Io to get back as discreetly as possible. If you do anything before then, you're gonna drop invisibility. I can lead him away and then make myself invisible, but I need you to be gone so that when invisibility drops on you, he's not chasing you.
Gwyn, I'll allow you to respond here, for sure.
I think Gwen is frustrated a little bit. She knows she can't keep up. She's also very concerned with Siobhan's ability to make smart decisions right now. But she also, I think, is feeling a little bit like Siobhan is going to do what she wants anyway. I'm going to actively choose to go along with it and trust her with this.
Okay, cool. So we'll say, signifying a split here. Siobhan, go ahead.
I'm gonna cut off and start heading towards, what is that bar called? The Foggy Flask? Is that in the Sharps? Or near the Sharps?
The Foggy Flask is also in the Takes. This is kind of like basically in kind of the opposite side of where the docks are. So I believe the Banshee is closer to the Thieves Guild. The Foggy Flask is closer to Huxley's.
I want to break off and start looping around towards the Foggy Flask. I want Brahm to see where I'm going so that it draws him that way. Because I don't know if he'll be bold enough to chase me into a cop's bar, but we'll see.
Okay, cool. Okay, I like that. Awesome. So letting Gwyn continue on, it is still technically your turn, Siobhan. So we'll say that you're wanting to double back until Brahm can see you. Right, I just need to know which direction you're going.
I want to loop around where he can see me.
Okay. I mean, you could stop and then just walk, run the opposite way.
Yeah. Whatever I need to do to start heading towards the Foggy Flask and have him see me do that. So whether it's doubling back, stopping, whatever needs to be done to get that.
You got it. Cool. Yeah. So we'll say, so in the movement of going from where you are right now, ironically, I would say 200 feet. I'd say you're about from this like area right here, truly like 90 feet from the Foggy Flask front door. But
wow,
we're
that close.
Yeah, it's pretty close. So the movement to double back to make sure that Brahm sees you, I would say I'd say you only really need to move like 30 feet to be 100% sure he sees you. 30 feet backwards, if that makes sense. And then you can actually just move the rest,
60
trying to
feet
keep
back.
pace. Cool, I like that. Sweet. All right, so I'll roll for that required. You stop, turn your heel, run back now through a crowd that is just kind of dispersing. Everybody's kind of like leaving and starting to kind of go to their homes or wherever for the night, as the sun is still peeking over the horizon. And you can see as you run back, I will say, I'll say it will carry over from that same perception check. Looking at Brahm, feel free to roll whatever you would like, whether it's a separate perception check or an insight check or whatever you'd like on this situation.
I'll do insight. I have better insight.
You got it.
That's 19 plus 6. 25.
25. Cool. With a 25, you said insight, right?
Yeah, insight.
Cool. With a 25, you see Brahm getting up out of the water against the sunset, and you can see as the water is you see the water dripping from his clothes. All of a sudden you start to see steam rising from his clothes himself. You are still about 160 feet away, but you feel like even from that instance you can even see just the little tiny orange flames in his eyes. He is, I'd say with a 25, you see he is... He's angry. And I would say it's more leaped into the idea of like maybe an extreme frustration. But locking eyes with you, you see him immediately start to charge forward. So seeing that, you... Go ahead.
So if I'm still like 170 feet away at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Was there anything else you want to do besides like lead him?
I mean, that's my action, bonus action movement, so that's it. That's all I got.
Well, right now I'd say you just made your movement because you just at that 30 feet. So I just want to make sure that there's nothing else that you wanted to do instead of using the bonus action and whatnot to run into the flask.
Well, the flask would still be, because it was 90 feet away, I went 30 feet back, so it's 120 feet away now.
That's correct. You're right.
Mm-hmm. So I would move that 60 feet to put it within 60 feet of me.
You got it. Okay, cool. Gwyn, roll me a stealth check with advantage, please.
I think it's a 3. Let me just double check my bonus. Yeah, I rolled a
With
1
advantage?
and a 2. Yeah, I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Wow. Okay.
You know what? I still have an inspiration from doing the recap. I will use that.
Go for it.
A 5.
All right, cool. Please tell me how a 5 manifests. You're still in invisibility, but we'll say like maybe like sound-wise, like a stumble, something like that. How do you think that manifests?
Probably is more she's doing her very best to like not bump into people as she's moving, but she's also trying to be aware of her surroundings and go the right way. So I think the combination of trying to do the two things at once is a little much for her skills set right now.
Okay. So what does that look like?
I think she like bumps into people and is just a little bit not quite as quiet as she would like knocking over like a chalkboard stand or whatever if they've got that kind of stuff.
Okay. You got it. Cool. Yeah, so we hear like a in the like scene going from Gwyn being in this like kind of like ethereal sort of in between state for the camera's sake, and seeing her like, you know, huffing and puffing running down the street and eventually just like kind of like knocking into someone so bad that you kind of like stumble and like fall to one knee. I think there's like a moment where Gwyn like hesitates to even like say like sorry as you get up and you.
And I just remembered she's also exhausted, so that would have been a straight roll anyway.
Okay, cool.
All a combination, not a good set of circumstances.
Right. Okay.
But I don't think she would try to do anything fancy. She is going to get as far and as close to Huxley's as she can as quickly as possible, to hopefully give Siobhan the advantage sooner than later.
You got it. All right. I will say with that roll, there is there's nothing you can focus on other than what you're doing. So you are just trying your best to be able to get there. Cool. All right. It is Sorry, just need to make sure I'm fixing some things here. Okay. Cool. It is his turn. You see Brahm start to just take off full bull running down the docks towards you, Siobhan. His movement is only 60 feet, so you're definitely able to kind of stay ahead of him in that. It is I'll say so. Actually, so movement. Yeah, I don't think there's anything he can do here on this. Oh, I screwed that up. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, gang. How far would he? Oh no, wait. So it's 200 feet. Yeah. So yeah, no way he's anywhere near you. Cool. It is your turn. Let's do the math here on this. So 60 feet of movement from the 200 plus the.
Well, I'm 170 feet away now, not 200.
You were 170 feet, but then you went towards the foggy flask.
So I went 60 feet back. So then I was 230 feet away from him.
230 feet away.
So now he's 170 feet away.
170 feet. Great. Cool. All right. Yeah. So top of the round.
How many people are around the foggy flask right now?
Around, like, out front?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually pretty crowded. You see there are 4 people around, 2 guards and 2, like, civilians that they seem to be chatting up with.
And I'm 60 feet away now.
Yes.
How? No, because I would have a concentration check. Do I? Ooh, probably not, because I don't know the guards of the city. But on the off chance that I do recognize any of the guards? Or people of, like, notable account in the city?
Roll me a history check.
+0, let's go. 11.
11. Yeah, with 11, you're not entirely sure. Or I'll say no, not in the moment that you're at.
Okay. This is kind of a finicky question for changelings.
Okay.
Can I, because it takes an action to change your shape. Doesn't necessarily say that you can't change individual aspects of your shape. Can I make it appear like I have bruising and damage on my body?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to use my action to make it look like I've been beaten and injured and kind of rip at my clothes a little.
Okay.
And run up to the kindest looking guard. Use my bonus action movement and action. Or bonus action movement to dash to the kindest looking guard.
Okay.
And just, like, stumble up to him and kind of collapse towards him and be like, he attacked me, he's after me, he assaulted me, and just start pointing towards Brahm, who's barreling after me.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Roll me a performance check with advantage.
$15?
15. Okay. One of the guards, just shaved head, helmet kind of like on the ground. You see like a glaive to his side. or his spear to his side. He goes, understood, miss. Please get inside. I will thwart the. I will make sure the gentleman handles Malcolm. And immediately steps towards Brahm, who's like just coming off the deck and continuing to run towards you. So we'll say, is it an action to do that as a changeling?
Yeah.
Okay. So movement 30 feet, bonus action 30 feet moving in, or are you?
Well, it was 60 feet to get to the.
Right.
Or
Sorry.
unless they were
Okay, so
close
you're
to the
saying
60 feet, yeah.
at first I pictured you were kind of doing this from afar, so now you're saying you were just right there, kind of like grasping onto him. Got it. Cool. So we'll say 60 feet does get you in the doorway. Like, so, you know, you have, we'll say like you have 3/4 cover here. Incredible. Right. It is Brahm's turn. Actually, okay, cool. They seem to be. I rolled a nat 20. These guys seem to be ready for him. And they say, "Sir, halt where you are." Let's see. He's still a ways away here.
Still 170 feet. Yeah.
Yeah. So 170 feet. So there's a whole turn where he's doing nothing but running towards. Doesn't seem to be stopping as they're kind of moving towards him. I would say they move their full like 30 feet towards him. But he does not seem to be stopping. So I will say it looks like he is. You definitely notice he seems to be like gearing up for something as you're running. Actually, Siobhan, give me an insight check to the last thing on your like turn, so to speak.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, cool. With a dirty 20, you surmise that Brahm seems to have some surprises. Things have changed since you've left with him. You see underneath his coat, he doesn't seem to be pulling out a weapon. He seems to be just continuing to charge, and you notice that like the steam that has kind of come around him is starting to sort of collect into something. You get the feeling that he is not going to go quietly. So technically, Gwyn, you have a turn. So Gwyn, you can continue your movement. We'll say, is there anything when you want to do as a on your turn besides dashing?
No, I think she's just going to keep dashing towards Huxley's.
You got it. Cool. We'll say, give me. I won't make this be a stealth roll now. I'd say give me an athletics check. And I will say,
worse.
yeah. That would be with disadvantage as you were.
So straight roll, okay.
Straight roll.
11.
Cool. All right. With an 11, it is enough to be able to kind of like stay on your feet as you were continuing to kind of move through the crowd. Occasionally kind of like getting hit with bumps like left and right. But it is enough for you to be able to kind of stay on your feet and pay close attention to anything and everything around you. Give me a perception check, please. This is also with disadvantage.
10.
Okay. Cool. What you see in front of you is figures. 9. Figures that are going about their day. And just confused faces as you happen to hit a couple of them, and they're looking, in your general direction, but they don't see you. Okay, cool. Back to the top of the order. Siobhan, it is your turn.
I imagine there's more guards inside, right?
There are.
She's just gonna keep moving through the bar as hysterical and scared as possible, saying like, he's coming, he's gonna kill me, he wants to take me back, please help me.
Okay, cool. I like this
Playing
plan a
the
lot.
full battered woman right now.
I love it. Give me a luck roll first.
Okay. 10?
Okay, it's 11 through 20 would be the success. But that's okay. Cool. Give me the performance check now.
Well, that's better. That's my performance. Oof, +1. 16.
Okay, you got it. And as you would still have advantage as you do look battered. Yeah. I think using your
16's the better one.
You got it. With a 16, you see 4 other guards kind of get up. You see a couple of them seem to be pretty drunk. But what number did I just say? 4?
4, yeah. 4.
4, thank you. 4 other guards. So they grab their gear, start mumbling to themselves, kind of like move past you. They don't seem to be concerned about you. They can be concerned about the threat as they move past you, also out the door. Incredible. So for the sake,
is there a back door on this establishment? I would know that, right?
Yes, there is. It would be leading out towards the docks, but it'd be like a private dock that they have, and then going out to like behind other like houses, like fishing houses, things like that.
I would have made my way kind of across to that back door.
Okay.
Not
Yeah.
it yet, but to it.
You got it. Cool. I'm gonna roll. Okay. You do see. No, I rolled an 8. Yeah. As you start to go out the back door, or as you're kind of coming towards the back door, I'm gonna say you still see a. You still have view from like the front window, like not necessarily towards where Brom is, but just like out the storefront, essentially, right? So I think for clarity's sake here, mechanically speaking, he has some more movement to get to, but I think that's not necessarily. It's not necessarily as much of a concern here on this. Siobhan, you start to notice that we're going into nighttime, but it seems like it's getting darker out front more than it should. You take a quick look back towards the back window, and you see the sun is still there. It's just about to kind of set, but it's still there. You look out front, it looks like total darkness out. You start to hear the clanging of metal on metal and the sounds of figures fighting something. I'm going to roll some dice here. Actually, I'll allow you to roll it. I assume. Let's do this. Give me 6 d20s, please.
We have a natural 20,
Good.
a 16,
Nice.
a 12, a 14, a 10, and a 7.
Okay. Great. I think at the end of your turn, actually, we'll say, like, technically, I think all of this happens to all the way to the beginning of your next turn. But you, you hear the sounds of a scuffle going on outside. and then you don't hear anything. Mechanically speaking, it will be the top of your turn here in a second. But Gwyn, I'd like you to give me one more athletics check, please.
That is going to be a 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gwyn, roll me. I'll roll it. When, as you're continuing to try to run, you feel your body, having trouble to kind of like settle with this. You've been running for 3 to 4 rounds, along with what you would continue to have to go through. So your mind is kind of in a spot of like, I cannot keep up with this forever. And as you do so, you miss a small bump in the road, and you fall to the ground, and you twist your ankle. I'm going to say roll me a luck roll, please, to see how bad the ankle is.
Hey, that is a 7.
Cool.
Jess,
You hear us?
Can you switch your dice out, please?
I've used 4 different dice.
For the love of God, what the heck?
I might use D&T Beyond tonight. I've used all my dice.
Gwyn, you hear a snap.
Fantastic.
You, I think, with that 7, I'm just going to add one more. Okay. So you take 12 points of damage.
Yikes.
Your movement is halved. And I would say, we'll just simplify that. We'll say your movement is halved. We'll simplify this to saying you have your 2nd level of exhaustion, because I believe that's what that is. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, what's going through Gwyn's mind right now?
Number 1 is she's never letting Siobhan make the decisions ever again. She's lost that privilege now.
That is not her fault that you can't run in a straight line.
Yeah, not happening again.
None of that has to do with Siobhan.
I love it.
But I think she's just a little bit angry at herself as well, because this should have been very simple.
Cool.
But I think she's just gonna... So I'm only about like 120 feet or something from where Siobhan and I split up, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. So I think what she would do, struggle up to her feet, probably wrap her ankle first before she does that. And I think she's just going to keep going to Huxley's right now, because she can only make things worse if she goes back in her state. So
You got it.
she's resigned to that. And I think Houston is around somewhere. So I think she would mentally tell him to keep an eye out on things here.
What's here?
Like back towards where the commotion.
To keep an eye on Siobhan?
Yeah.
Okay. You got it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So Houston, for right now, is a normal familiar, except that he can fly. But
Right.
for clarification's sake, Houston cannot turn invisible.
No, he's just going to. I think she would tell him to try to be as normal a cat as possible. There's got to be lots of street cats around.
Okay, cool.
Like, he looks weird, but
You tell a three-eyed cat that is growing wings out of his back to look normal.
totally.
Love it. Give me a stealth check for Houston.
All right, I'm gonna try D&D Beyond for this one. We're just gonna check it out. I'm still rolling with the cat stats, right?
Yes.
It's +2. Yeah, that's a dirty 20.
Hell yeah. Sweet. Okay. We'll say that you kind of did this retroactively so that we don't have to worry about like speed on that. So we'll say that Houston just kind of like tries to kind of keep himself scarce, like maybe like crawling in a window, but Houston is in the foggy flask right now. Okay. Cool. Back to the top of the order. It is you, Siobhan.
As she slips out the back door, can I glance around and like take a quick look around without using my reaction, like to just see if someone's out there?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a perception check.
22.
22. With 22, you see no one towards the back, as far as like extra guards, things like that. No one else towards the back. You only see this old man fishing at the house next door to you, in the direction of where you'd be going, so to the east.
Are there like, would I know alleys, like side passages, ways to move through this part of the city pretty quickly?
Yes. The only tricky thing about this is that this, both the, in case it comes up, both the Foggy Flask, actually, no, but the Foggy Flask in particular is right on the water. So in your case, you would either have to be kind of like moving along the rocks towards like the rocky sort of beach and like kind of clinging to the wall to be able to kind of stay back alley on this side, or you have to cross the street.
Okay, so I was trying to like find a way I could disappear from sight quickly, or maybe as I'm going out that can happen, to where I can shift into somebody else as my action.
Okay, you got it. I'll say you hear the old man just like muttering to himself, like yelling for the fish to like, come on, bite. You get the feeling that this guy is not paying attention to you at all. I'll tell you above 4. I rolled a nat 1. So I'm not trying to trick you here. That's literally.
I'm gonna shift into Brooke.
Okay. You got it. So we see
and
this.
Just keep moving. It's only 60 feet of movement now because I use my action to shift. But kind of serpentine, like start heading towards the stacks, but, you know, trying to lose a tail almost.
Okay.
Trying to buy Gwyn as much time as possible to get to Huxley's.
So the important thing here on this would be, is are you going in the direction of crossing the street? Or are you going, well, we'll say, is your intention to kind of like keep Brahm continuously occupied? Or do you feel like you've given enough time now? Or enough distance now? There's a good chance he still thinks you're in the Foggy Flask, so he's going to actually have to go through that. I can tell that
she's still invisible. I can sense that she's still invisible. And my assumption would be that someone can run invisible without issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't look like a tiefling anymore.
Right.
So I'd say I'd probably risk it running across the street.
You got it. Cool.
But I'd still like take the path to try to shake a tail if I had a tail.
Okay. I love that. Cool. So we'll say for the case of this, give me a
I'm still
stealth
wearing the same clothes, so there's
right.
that.
Give me a stealth. I'll still give you advantage. Give me a stealth check with advantage.
That was bad. That was worse. God, what is that? 15?
Okay. 15's not bad. Okay. As you're crossing the street, you see there's a cloud of darkness that seems to be kind of mixed in with this, like, sort of, it almost has this, like, this smoky sort of steam kind of coming off of it. And you see him, you see Brahm exit it, heading towards the front door of the Foggy Flask. You rolled a 15 in a stealth check here.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the funny thing that I have rolling with Brahm. Brahm has a -3 to perception. So to beat a 15, I have to roll a 17 or higher,
18.
right? 18 or higher?
18 or higher, yeah.
Cool. All right. I promise, gang, I am working on getting that camera ready, but you're going to trust me on this one. So 18 or 20. That's a 12. With a huff, you see a still steaming sort of version of Brahm go and walk into the Foggy Flask, where there is at least 10 guards there. The luck roll was to see if one of the glimmer shields were in there. They were not. Or sorry, I guess it would just be Cedric, to see if Cedric was in there. Cedric was not. However, there are 10 guards there. You ready for this? If you're ready for this roll, so you've already gotten, so nat 20 I doubled, so you've already done 3. You need to roll if you want to do this, or I can do this. You need to roll. Okay, great. I need you to roll 10 d20s, and you need at least 3 to be over 15.
I'm gonna roll the first 5. That's a 19 and a 15 were the 2 highest. The other ones were too low. So I need
Good
one
start.
more.
You only need one more.
15. That's a 15. The rest are below 15.
You got it. Wow. That was close. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a scuffle breaking out among them. You hear the sounds of slashing, but it also sounds like it's not. You hear like these deep, heavy, these deep sort of like heavy growls from something that is not from this plane. But I'm trying to think of how you would know. I think eventually you hear the phrases like, "We got him, hold him down," as you feel that Brahm is subdued. And now within the custody of our men-at-arms. However, with that, you imagine that the danger has subsided.
Oh god, this is stupid. How far have I gone from the back door?
From the back door, 60
Mhm.
feet, we'll say.
How far am I from the front door that he went in?
30 feet.
this is so stupid. Do I have it in my inventory? I imagine he's subdued.
Mm-hmm. I mean, with a handful of guards that are most likely still alive.
Okay, you guys are gonna really hate me for this.
Oh boy, okay.
She's going to try to discreetly shift back into the battered and bruised Iliar.
Okay.
And kind of stumble towards one of the injured guards. And be like, thank you so much. And cast a healing word on him.
Okay.
And just... She wants to confirm that he is in custody. So whatever injured guard she stumbled up to gets healed for 7 hit points.
You got it. On the outside or inside the foggy flask?
I would say like in the threshold. She still wants an easy escape if necessary. I want to be able to see outside so I can misty step my ass outside and run if I have to.
You got it. Yeah, looking inside. Give me a perception check.
10.
Okay. With a 10, it's enough to be able to see a significant amount of destruction in here for someone who's only been in here for 6 seconds or less. You notice that there are several guards that are picking themselves up off the wall, one of which does not seem to be getting up. You see, I think, like 2 of them immediately like rushing to the attention of the guard that seems to be unconscious. Okay, but one of them does come up to you and goes, "Yeah, we got him. Are you okay?"
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know where else to go. Oh my god, you guys are so hurt. She's gonna move towards the guard that's not moving.
Okay.
And first cast Spare the Dying, just in case. If that doesn't take, she knows it's too late.
Spare the Dying works. Yes.
And then another healing word just to bring him up.
You got
4 hit points.
Okay. Healing word, you see him.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know where else to go. I didn't mean for all of you to get hurt. He was gonna kill me.
The same guard that originally like talked to you. It's okay, miss. Thank you for your help. I appreciate it. We got him. It's okay. And you see that Brahm is on the ground, hands behind his back, not facing you, facing away from you.
He looks conscious, though.
He looks conscious.
What are you gonna do with him now? I mean, he said he's really powerful in the city and that he knows people and he'd find me no matter what.
I'll tell you what, we're gonna bring him in. We're very aware of who he is and who he runs with. Assuming that his mile-long track record with the law doesn't hold, maybe I can find out where would you be staying so that I could reach out to you possibly to come in for questioning.
Would I know of any inns in the fancier part of town, but not like the Heights? Because I clearly don't look like someone from the Heights, but close enough to the Heights. Or maybe the Heights, I don't know. I look battered.
Okay.
One of the fanciest inns that someone like me, looking as I do, would have access to if I was well-to-do.
Well, I mean, you're also pretty like battered and like you got like torn clothes and whatever. So it's like it's hard to tell like if you are of a royalty or not, you know, or not royalty, but like higher to do.
Upper class, yeah.
Yeah. I will. I'll tell you what. We'll simplify this and say that you say that, and we'll kind of clear that up later.
Mhm.
That works.
Yeah, I'm saying here. I'm part of a merchant family. I just came to visit. And then.
Miss, you got yourself sorted out with the wrong type. But it's okay. We got it. Do you need an escort back to the Heights?
I was supposed to meet some people at the lighthouse, the tower. I'm a cleric. You see, I was going to do some charity work there.
Okay. The Spire. Okay.
Yeah,
We can.
yeah.
We can send one of our men to go with you.
Okay. Thank you.
He spent some time kind of looking around and talking with some of the guards. The guards are not good. Some of them actually there's also ones in front that are now kind of coming in after just looking horribly battered and bruised and having nasty sort of marks all over their face and body. You see some of them are actually one of them is holding his arm and just in painful screams as they're coming in, and you see at this point the guard just kind of goes, you know what, I'll take you, it's fine.
Okay.
So it's the same guard that you talked to originally. We'll say his name is Corwis.
Corwis. Okay.
Okay. We're going to pause you there, but there's still someone that's definitely in a bad shape. So Gwyn, ironically, having to move slower here, I will allow one more perception check for me. And I will say this is a straight roll.
Actually, that's a 12.
Cool. Yeah. With a 12, you don't see anybody except for just the actually now the kind of thinning out of people here. I think what we say, it lasts an hour.
Correct.
Yeah, she would try to get as far away, and if it takes her the full hour, I think she would drop it after a half an hour.
Okay.
She knows that Siobhan is way quicker than her, so
Well, the
whatever
only way
she's
you
up
can
to
drop
now,
it
she
is
might need it
if
more.
you cast a spell. Or do
Oh yeah,
something.
that's right. You can't drop
Because
that on
I have the
yourself, can you?
concentration on it, not you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
But I mean,
can
in
drop
that
it other ways.
regard,
I
you
can
can.
cast
If
I
you
don't
can
know if she would
cast
wait
a
a full
cantrip, you
hour
can
to do
drop it.
sending if she's not back.
Okay.
Is the thing. Yeah.
You got it. Yeah, I think
if she's
so.
not back within a half an hour, she would do sending.
Cool. So we'll say explain the situation. I would say you're about you'd be about 3/4 of the way there before it'd be a half hour, and a full hour would probably get you there. As you're moving half speed. So
yeah. So at around the half hour mark, she would send to. I think she would send to Io and just say, we need you to get back to Huxley's as quickly and quietly as possible. Ran into some trouble. I'm okay. Heading there now. Not sure where Siobhan is.
okay, cool. So we'll say for simplicity's sake, yeah, I'm going to say, Gwyn, you are able to make it to Huxley's. So you were able to make it there. We will role play that when it comes in because you're ascending right now. We're gonna cut from you over to Io and Nalani, who are in the Lyra's shop. But we're gonna have to backpedal just about a minute, I would say. So to set the scene, Io, you are having Lyra here trying to kind of like clarify how you're supposed to be like holding, and I think you're also like you are actually learning some tips here as you are surveying or as you're hearing what Lyra's saying. You hear the bells ring again. I think instinctively you look over and you see two figures come in. I don't have their mid-journeys yet, so I apologize. You see two figures walk in. I'd like you to give me a perception check.
Okay. That's a 12.
Okay. Cool. Looking at the figure, it looks like one is looks to be male. It's hard to tell from just like the shine of the glass window coming in. Looks to be male. You see like short, sort of stubby horns, and you see a long tail. Who seems to be kind of like looking around the shop, and then another hooded figure. You surmise, even from this distance, I'll tell you just straight up, they're female. But I would say like your first inclination on that is because you see that they're wearing a very short dress with long, dark purple leggings that go all the way up. You see the figure has a hood that is like a very like light, almost lavender sort of look. And as the figures kind of come closer, you notice that this individual has a dark grayish blue to the point of like a grayish blue skin, to the point of it's almost like kind of like you can't decide whether it's gray or blue, like one of those colors. You know what I mean? So they both like kind of take their time coming in. They're like looking at the shop. Hello.
Ma'am, I think they're looking for your help. As he's still in the orc form, so he's still trying to perform that voice.
You see this is, I will say, this is gonna be tricky for you, Dan, because you are an orc. You are Bob. So I'm gonna say, for the sake of simplicity, because it might be harder for you to play Bob in this, Dan, would you be willing to play Nalani in this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. All right, great. You see the sort of like deep, almost orange-skinned figure. Almost also kind of looks like a tiefling, right? Has the long tail, has the horns. Just comes in and goes, well, hello. I am looking for an individual. Oh, there they are. Excuse me, miss. No, I'm not in the market for bows and arrows, as it were. I was looking for an arrow man. Hello, sir.
Can I help you?
Well, my associate and I were wondering if you might know someone by the name of Kara.
No, I don't know who you're talking about.
Make a deception check.
I don't know what his stats are.
Yeah,
so
I'll actually pull up
I'm
Nalani's.
I'm gonna roll the die and I'm gonna tell you what I get.
Yeah, give me that d20.
Oh God, that's a 4.
Nalani's deception is a +2. Wow. But a 6. Oh, you don't know who Kara is? That's interesting because, there's so much talk about her in town, at least in the... Someone shaving? What's happening? Okay. We good?
For now, there's gonna be another beep. In fact, if
Okay.
you give me 2 seconds, I'll just open the door real quick.
Okay. We'll assume that that Ao can still hear me, but no, I don't think there's anything realistic. I think what we see is like Lyra kind of like now like looking between Nalani and this individual. And I'd say the other female figure seems to kind of wait by the door. Cool. So, well, can you hear me? Well, that's interesting because, first off, there's so many people that have been talking about Kara in her grand entrance back into Des Wharf. You sure you don't know who I'm talking about, sir?
How would Mitch play this? I think with that, Nalani's going to reach for. He's gonna grip his bowstring and say, "I said I do not know anything about her." Oh, did we lose Joe?
I feel like Nalani would just keep repeating himself. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, with sarcasm and passive aggression.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't go immediately to the threats. You're thinking,
Regardless of whether they don't
I
believe
think he
him.
would still grab his bow, but he's gonna be like,
Mhm.
"Fuck, bro, I don't know." Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Okay, I think we're back. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Did
Did you catch my response?
Absolutely not.
Okay. I think you're gonna see Nalani white knuckle his bowstring and say, "I don't know Akara. I was just here with my friends."
Interesting. Kira, this gentleman doesn't know Akara. Seems that we were given wrong information. Oh, that's too bad. It's funny, one thing that was also mentioned during that time was that when you were also seen in that area, that you were sitting rather romantically back to back with the halfling behind the counter. Hello, dear. At this, you see Kira takes a step forward. You see Lyra immediately pull out a bow and arrow and face it towards Kira, but seems to be kind of like moving back and forth between Kira and this individual. Oh, I wouldn't do that, love. It's not a good idea. I'm just going to be honest with you, sir. Kira is very good at two things, and one of those things, I don't know, you might want to see, but the other one you definitely don't. So I will ask one more time. Do you know the name Kara?
No, I don't. And I think with that, Lyra already has her bow out. I think Nalani would probably I think he'd probably try and I don't know what his call would be really.
You said you were having a bow out. You already the no is the big thing that you said. You said no. So so we'll say go ahead and roll advantage. Roll initiative.
Okay.
Roll initiative is Nalani, then roll initiative is Bub.
Okay. So the first roll, that was a 9 on the die.
This is for Nalani?
Yes.
Okay, you got it.
Debating on whether or not I should burn my inspiration to re-roll for him, but I might not need to. And then for me, that is a dirty 20.
Okay. So Kira rolled a 25.
Damn.
Misty steps to Lyra and touches her arm. Okay. You see Lyra go cold, frozen, and starts to turn the same grayish blue as the individual that's touching her. We can continue initiative if you want.
Okay. I don't know if this will be the Mitch call, but I think with that. No, stop. And I think he starts to kind of lower his bow.
Cool. As you do so, I'll say because we did go to initiative, and I want to give you something for that. You notice that there's a. Give me a perception check.
Okay, as Io or as Nalani? I'm assuming no.
As Nalani.
Gotcha. Oh God, no. We're burning the inspiration on that one.
Okay. So you could also roll as Io too.
Okay, that works too. Okay, so then in that case, I'm not going to burn the initiative or the inspiration. That wasn't that one for Nalani.
Good guys, you're killing it.
And for me, that's not much better. It's a 14.
Wait, did you re-roll for Nalani again?
No, I didn't. I rolled for Nalani, then I rolled for Io. Since she said I could roll for both, I must have misunderstood.
Yeah, didn't you roll a 9 before that, though?
I rolled a
Or am I
nat
making
1.
that up?
Yeah, no,
And a
no
14.
9. Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. Weird. Cool. With a 14, 14 is enough to be able to notice that the figures of shadows along the wall, based on the light that's kind of like going in here, you notice that one of them seems to move, even though no one has moved. 14 is enough to be able to notice that. It's not enough to be able to notice anything more as far as the distinguishing characteristic of that. But I'd say out of the corner of your eye, you notice just like something seems to dart away. Well, okay. Very good. Kira, you can stop it now. And you hear a voice on the other side that just goes, voice from Kira that just goes, I can hold it right here until we get the information we need. Oh. That voice gives you shivers up your spine, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Pointing at Nalani.
Lyran. My name is Lyran.
Mr. Lyran. Okay. Mr. Lyran, your association with this Kara... Would you say that you're close enough to be able to hand off a message for me?
I can pass a message, I think, yes.
Great. Could you please let Miss Kara know that Hadrian will meet her tomorrow at their favorite spot? Say noon. And Mr. Lyran, it would be best if Kara goes alone.
Understood.
Great. Well, that's all I was here to say. Good luck in whatever this is. Come. And you notice that that was not directed towards you. With that, I think Kira and this gentleman leaves Lyra's shop. Lyra's skin seems to kind of turn back to normal. You actually hear her just... What was that?
Are you okay? I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I think I'm gonna go home now. I think it's time to close up shop, maybe a little early.
That would be for the best. Is there... I know we messed everything up today, but is there anything we can do to help?
No, I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Or whenever.
Okay. And then
Bob, I'm sorry, we gotta close up for a shop today. If you want to come back tomorrow, I'll be happy to help you out.
No problem. Go ahead and take this as a bit of a down payment also for me and some, just for the... This is a bad day. And he just full on slips her 5 gold.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I'll make sure I remember that to put towards the bill when you come back.
And with that, I think Io would slip Nalani a psychic message about, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and make it on out. Also, since I was already playing Nalani, there is something I kind of wanted to do, but
go for it.
I wanted to see while then again with initiative that probably wouldn't have happened, but one thing I would have wanted to try to do was to use detect thoughts on the orange guy while he was talking to Nalani.
Okay. Surface thoughts.
Surface thoughts, yeah.
Surface thoughts essentially is, don't be an idiot. Tell us what we already know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and I think especially after I saw things turn really serious, I don't think I would have risked going deeper.
Sure. Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, I think that does everything I wanted to do.
You got it. All right, cool. So as Nalani and Io leave the shop, assume you guys are going straight back. Sorry, that's when you get the message from Gwyn. So I assume you're going to be heading straight back to Huxley's?
Yes.
Cool. Give me a luck roll, DC 5.
Okay. Come on, big money, big money, big money, big money. Okay, now we're burning the inspiration.
Did you roll below a 5?
Yes, I did.
Killer.
We need to exercise our dice.
That's
12.
crazy, gang. 12. Cool. Awesome. 12, you're able to make it back unharmed. I'll let you know when you come back in. All right, everybody.
They might honestly beat Gwyn back.
I think it's pretty close. When you come back in a bit. But so in an entirely kind of somewhat different sort of sense, we're going to come back to Huxley's factory. We see Yori and Alistair working hard at finishing up a project. So we'll say as we come to you guys, we'll say you're kind of like putting on the finishing touches of this spear. Feel free to roleplay as you'd like.
Okay, so picks it up and just absolutely thunks when he drops it. Just yeah, that seems that's pretty good. I can definitely. I don't think I could use it. I mean, I could stab with it, but
it just seems so unnecessarily heavy. I don't understand why you need it to be so heavy.
It'll be hard for me to show you until I can throw it through something. And then see if it's heavy, there's more stuff. It's I don't know the math. You know how there's more stuff in a heavy thing, and then if more stuff hits something else, that it goes more like
you hear Huxley just say from wherever he is in the factory, mass.
Yeah, it's math. It's I've heard about math.
Mass.
Mass.
Is it you go into the temple?
Okay, this is. So, I mean, other than the fact that you've made this thing ridiculously heavy that no one else will ever be able to use it, how do you feel about it?
Also a pro. It's wait. And he unties part of the red leather that Alistair had given him a long time ago, and he ties it to the butt of the spear right at the end. And perfect. It's perfect. I'm gonna have to practice with it because I think the timing on it.
Throw it off, right? When it goes through, the ribbon's gonna.
It's heavy enough that's not gonna. I don't think that's gonna be really a factor there. I'm gonna throw it really hard. So at least let me here. I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna turn it counterclockwise so it actually activates the immovable rod. And then just sort of swing from it back and forth. It works. See? I mean, the timing thing, I'll have to, like I said, I'll have to, because it has to stop right,
I mean, you're
inside somebody.
The timer is, I mean, we can definitely make that work, but I think you should absolutely leave the ability to just turn it on and off at will.
Right. Yeah. I think that's. I mean, sometimes because it's still the immovable rod, so I can use it like that too. Sometimes if I just need to stop something or whatever. But then we have both.
I was thinking about this. If you leave the switch on there, right, and let's just for the sake of argument, and I'll pick up my cane and jam it through the side so it looks like it. If you've got them stuck, couldn't they just reach over and flip the timer up and then? It wouldn't.
Well, if it's, that's the idea of it. It's sort of hidden, it's decorative. It just looks like maybe if they saw me do it, or if not, but also, I guess maybe if we also just make it really hard to turn, just like it's hard to lift up, that would help too. But I also, when a spear goes through you, you don't have a lot of like thinky parts left to consider. I mean, also the turn part is near the front. That might just be through into your back. You might not even be able to reach that.
Yeah, that's of course. Yeah. So earlier with the whole Marion thing, you're still okay with this?
Yeah. I think we can involve gunpowder, and we can involve whatever you need. And if it's
I'm really concerned about Siobhan trying to talk us out of this, and I just think this is gonna happen, right?
These are. I don't get why we're so scared of like people who are like they're just people, like they're not even that big. We literally, to get that rod. I mean, people could be strong, I guess, but also like just think of the things that we fought and
I don't think
against.
It's really the one person that people are scared of. It's the countless others that they control as well. Right.
Well,
so
I think I remember that explosions can be pretty big, and that can hit lots of people.
Yeah, so I was kind of thinking that maybe we should maybe be more tactical with the gunpowder, maybe, and try and get to Marion alone if we can. I don't know if that's even possible. I don't necessarily want to kill him, but I think we could maybe, an eye for an eye type situation.
Yeah, we could take one of his eyes. That's fine. That's I guess I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know if an eye is worth a knee.
Well, it's
like
just
maybe an eye and I don't know, some teeth.
It's
equals
just
a knee.
It's a phrase. It wasn't necessarily an eye.
You see Huxley has, I think from like looking up from the work, there's probably like some sort of obstruction that would make it hard to see that you see like the walkway, the catwalk up there is done. And now you see there is a ladder that he had built to the ground. Alistair, it looks like a normal ladder until you see Huxley like maneuver a bolt that has it bolted to the ground. You see it just as it becomes an opposite of like a kick down ladder, as the idea of like being able to take it off when needed. You also see by the end of that whole situation, you see he's finished that and is now moving over to other sort of pieces of furniture that are around.
You just gonna ignore us for the rest of the day, or you're that mad? You can't.
I'm working on stuff. I'm trying to make sure that there's nothing else that's. Now that I've fixed the catwalk and made it so that people can get up there.
Yeah.
How did you even do that? It's like metal. I mean, I know we were working for a while, but it's like a whole system. I guess I did. It looked one way, and then I looked back, and now it's a cow. Now there's a ladder. That's really amazing.
Looks over. Actually, looks over at Alistair and goes, "Is he fucking with me right now?"
Surprisingly, no. He likes you.
All right. Okay.
For some reason.
Yeah. It's I'm really good at that.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're welcome. I'm gonna go over here.
To be honest with you, Yuri, he's being very modest. This is some of the best work I've ever seen being wasted away on catwalks in an abandoned warehouse.
Listen, man, just because you haven't walked up a ladder in some time doesn't mean that it's going to be something that's incredibly important for other people to do when needed. This place is obviously built for one person. I'm just trying to accommodate other people, and now at this point, I'm going to make it a little less dangerous. I think in saying a little less dangerous, there's a knock at the door. And we'll have some fun with this. We'll say Gwyn and I'll roll me initiative rolls.
Let's use our cursed dice. Ready?
Use the cursed dice. It's good.
17.
17?
Mm-hmm.
2.
Jesus. Good Lord. Good thing it wasn't on anything important.
Away.
Right in the trash.
Someone needs to send you new dice. This is a problem.
That's crazy.
I have
We'll bring
4
some for
sets
the
here.
live
They've
game.
all rolled like crap tonight.
To be fair, past couple of sessions, I've very rarely rolled above a 10, but not in a row. That's crazy. Cool.
This is like your natural one night all over again. Because that was actually a natural one, by the way.
That was actually tragic. Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so good. Cool. Yeah, there's a knock at the door, and it's if Huxley would go to answer at this point, and sees Io and Nalani. Hi. Welcome in. Just walks away.
Okay. I think I'll enters and greets. I mean, basically, all right, y'all. We have a problem, but
What else?
let's. Yeah, trust me. Yeah, let's wait until the whole group is here, though.
Things have been really weird for me since my leg got hurt, and things are kind of out of order. Did you leave with Gwyn?
Yes, and
The next words out of your mouth should be, Gwyn is right behind us. Why are you not with Gwyn?
Not with a 2.
I hope she's right behind us.
The hell do you mean you hope she is right behind us?
Okay, so he's motor mouthing this whole thing. So first of all, we were doing this whole thing in the library. Things were going fine, beautifully. Then I end up telling this guy, I'm sorry he missed out on dating my fine ass, because I mean, real talk, my human form is really, really attractive. But then we got to this whole point where we're making our way to the Fletcher. We're making our way to get some beer, actually. But then we end up running into Nene right here. And what is she going by right now? Iliar, yes. And we go in together.
Okay, so
we find
where is
out.
Iliar?
I'm getting there. There's a whole process to what happened. So we all end up going to that fletching shop because apparently, I'm sorry, Nene, he got a really massive crush on the girl. And we really fucked that up for him. We're still trying to save that. Then Il put on her mask while in there and then bolted out. Gwyn went after her, so we were still following the 2-group policy. But then after we're kind of wrapping things up, some real sketch guys come in. They start asking about a Kara and some other shit that I want to tell the whole group about when they get here. Then right when we exit, Gwyn pops into my head with her ability to send and tells us that we need to get back to Huxley's ASAP. She's right behind. She and Shiv are right behind us, and that's how we ended up here. Massively paraphrasing things. Where would you like me to elaborate first?
Tell me about this librarian that you said should.
Huxley, shut up. Where's
should-
Gwyn?
Oh, actually, Hux, to be fair, she should be right behind me. You know what? In fact, I can check on that right now. And I think with that, Io takes one hand, the mouth opens up, and he's gonna cast Sending to Gwyn, and he's like, okay, Gwyn, where the hell are you? We're back. Al is right pissed off with me. There were some weird guys, and it gets to the point probably where the message gets cut off because he hasn't.
Seems like he could have led with
realized
that. Like that could have been the first thing that he did. So
I think
I'm working on being
where
concise
is
too. I
Gwen
get
when
it.
she gets that? Does she have a time frame of when she thinks she'll be back?
I'd say you're about, if you were, we'll put it this way. I think for Gwyn, like looking at it, like if you didn't have a broken ankle, you would be able to make it here in, you're about 120 feet away. But it's a long 120 feet.
120 feet. I think she's just going to say, I'm fine. I'll be there when I get there. And that's it. And I think Io can tell not normal Gwen behavior.
Can I also ask above board with the timing? Because it takes her like over a half an hour to get back. Everything that happened at the foggy glass was like quick.
Right.
So would I have had the time to get escorted to the sea glass spire and then book it back at my full speed?
Yeah,
How
I
far
think
behind
if
them
you,
would I be?
I was taking a break, not really sure if you wanted to role play anything or if you just wanted to make the guards seem like they were like if you were
wanted
just
them
doing
to
that.
drop me off at the foggy glass, and then the moment I felt her invisibility disappear, turn myself invisible and sprint back.
Okay, yeah, you got it. So we'll say roll me an athletics check with advantage.
Natural 20 for 23.
Jesus Christ.
Hey.
Cool. You see Gwyn exactly at this moment. I think Gwyn, you just finished the message when Siobhan. Siobhan's invisible.
She's
So.
invisible. Yeah.
Yeah, she takes a deep breath and continues hobbling forward. I think
I would
much like a
move up
cat,
and try
though,
to
she is
sprawl.
trying not to look hurt.
Cool.
It's
I love
probably very
She's
bad, but she's
trying.
very much trying.
There's just a moment where you pass by like an elderly couple that just like kind of give you a nod. And just,
Yep.
Are you okay?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Walks up.
Gwyn, I'm here.
Great.
Are you okay?
I've been better.
I'm going to kind of bolster her under my, like, try to help her without making it look like she's getting help from an invisible human being. And as I touch her, cast Cure Wounds on her at second level. And you heal.
You'll come out of invisibility, though, if you cast Cure Wounds on me.
That's right. I won't do
I
that.
I will say I want to know how you make Gwyn look like she's walking normally.
Yeah, that seems.
Just Gwyn's like every step is like a weird bounce. Like there's like a
To be fair, I will try to help her, whatever that means.
So I want to clarify something. You have to attack or cast a spell to drop invisibility.
Right.
Does shifting count as any of those? Can I shift
No.
while invisible? So I'm going to shift into some random chick. Just someone completely random. And then cast Cure Wounds and help you. So that was a 7 plus a 4, which was 11 plus 3. 11, 3. What is that? 14 points of healing.
14 points healing.
And I'm going to help her back now.
You got it. Yeah. Gwyn's still broken. But it feels. I think like in terms of like maybe like it like nullifies the pain. I think.
Yeah.
What the hell happened? Did they follow you? Who followed you? Who?
Nobody.
I thought you got away.
Me. I'm just very bad at moving invisibly, it seems.
Okay, let's just get inside.
You get to the
Sounds like a
door.
good idea.
You knock. You all on this side hear a knock. Huxley looks around. Okay, if Alistair's not going to get the door, I'll get it.
We're not going to presume it's your. You don't go open somebody else's door.
You're not going to presume. Okay, all right. You see him walk away, go grab the door. Looking at Siobhan.
I think
I narrow
Gwen
my eyes at him.
Gwen is also narrowing her eyes at him, but she is going to take his arm and make him escort her to a seat.
Oh, sorry. Okay. What was our first altercation when we met?
Fuck off, Huxley.
There it is. Come on in. And you see Gwyn. You see Gwyn leaning on Huxley as Huxley kind of like guides you to a chair, or really like a stool.
I'm assuming it's clear that your ankle is hurt, at least.
100%.
I mean, she's trying to make it, but she accepted, or she forced Huxley to help her. Something is
Cool.
not right.
So
Yeah.
you feel a rushed stream of air underneath you, and you're lifted up and put on a table right in front of me with your ankle next to me. And I'm just start taking, I don't know if you wear boots, shoes, whatever.
Yeah, probably boots at this point.
Yeah, I start gingerly taking it off and start examining your ankle. While what happened? Why are you not with Io? You left with Io. You're not with Io now. What happened? Did Marion do this to you?
No, Brahm attempted to murder Siobhan right at the
That
pier,
is, you ruined everything, Gwen. What do you mean he tried to murder me? What the fuck are you talking about?
Are you hurt? Are you okay?
By the way, Shiv, Hadrian wants to see you, and you alone.
Okay.
He did try to kill you. I got
what do you mean?
I don't know if it was a vision or a flash of the future or what it was.
Stop moving your
but
ankle.
He was going to murder you. Right there and then. No
how,
questions
how
asked.
you can see the future now? Is that how you know?
Once in one moment I could.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
sense. Next time I'm just
sense.
gonna let him kill you. Since that seems to be what
he can just see the future. We were having a conversation and then she blasted him off the dock in the middle of the open day.
I can see the future.
What?
It's just like it's a thing. Not for,
Io,
like
where does he want to meet me? When does he want to meet me?
It's just like a couple seconds, but I can do it.
I'll wait.
Just tell her, Io.
Before I give anybody any answers, Lyra is in danger. So let that decision.
I'm sorry.
Let whatever you're deciding next be predicated on the fact that everyone here's choices are going to affect not just the group anymore, but other people in the group.
It'd be weird if I see the future. You talk to a god.
So you're telling me that you randomly get the power to see the future in the middle of me making a breakthrough in my honeypot. Like
it felt like a final goodbye from Beatty.
Stop moving your ankle.
Okay.
Okay. When I broke my pact with Beatty, I think they gave me a one-time special favor. And it was to save you. So, you know what? If you don't want to believe me about that and you want to go off and make your own decisions, That's
It's
fine.
hard to
I'm
believe
done
you.
for tonight.
When you blast someone off the docks, it feels a lot like
She said she was
Io
done.
blasting somebody unprovoked.
Oh, there's that again.
Io, just tell her what she needs to know, and we'll figure out Lyra after.
Okay. So,
Oh wait, how do you know that Hadrian wants to see me?
well, here's how it went down.
Is he gonna recap the whole thing again?
Man, little man, I was trying to
Don't
set up
make
a
me laugh,
dramatic
Yori.
pause.
My foot has to stay still,
Oh,
and
sorry.
I'm mad right now.
In convalescent reverie, we find a balm for wounds that seeks to unbind. Healing word.
Also, if you
Take
want one
3
of,
more hit points. No, wait,
And if-
6.
hey, if you want one of the healing
Still broken.
potions, I'll go ahead and
Yeah.
lift it to you. But I don't know.
To be
what
fair,
good
I
that's
don't
gonna
think
give ya.
that any magic is going to help right now.
Sorry, sometimes I
If
really
you
do
wanted
think
to help,
it
you
fixes
shouldn't have
everything.
broken. You shouldn't have separated. You were
It's both
supposed to be with
symbolic.
her, Io.
It's not his fault. And me being hurt is not actually Siobhan's fault either.
Why can't we leave this building without coming back injured?
Also,
Hey, wait a minute. Do they
now that
know that
they
this
know-
place
Just
is...
assume they do,
I don't.
probably.
They might know
Great,
that
cool.
we're here.
You remember
They also know
how we
that
were talking about
every
how I was making it
single
more
person here
welcoming?
is associated with Kara.
Yeah. You know how I was gonna
Everyone
make
is-
it? I'm gonna make it less welcoming. Cool. Good.
Cool.
All right. Great.
Put spikes
Awesome.
on the
Io, can you
outside.
just tell
Yeah.
us what happened, please?
All right, so 2 what appear to be tieflings walk in. Orange guy with stubby horns, very long tail, followed by a relatively quiet, grayish blue, intermediate blue girl in a tiny dress and purple leggings with a weird shadow. They come in, they start asking Nene questions on does he know Kara? Obviously,
Just point above border. The female had a long tail.
Oh, okay. I for some reason I was thinking long
Okay.
tail and the other one.
Go ahead,
Okay,
continue.
but yeah. So revision there. Not gonna repeat it, but revision there. They threatened Nalani. Nalani's a trooper though. He stood his ground. Didn't want to give him any information, and that's when the girl did something to Lyra. And it was clear, even if we could have took him, which I'm not sure if we could have. I really don't think we could have. Lyra's at stake, so Nalani had to comply, and the orange guy said basically Hadrian wants to meet with Kara at their favorite place at noon tomorrow, and a very implicit threat that she'd better go alone.
Above board, Io, you also got a name.
I did get a name. I'm trying to remember what her name
Kira.
That's okay.
was.
It was Kira.
Kira. That's why I forgot. I was like, it was so close to the other name, so and it got lost in ether.
So, but boy, did Nalani tell us about the person he saw, like, when he was up on the roof? Remember, he saw someone like kind of come near the
I
building.
don't
and,
remember.
like,
Yeah, I
so
don't
he
think he
did.
did.
He's an
Okay.
expert
Remember
at
either.
keeping stuff to
That
himself.
seems like Nalani.
Yeah. I think you hear, maybe only Alistair, I mean, it depends, when Io says that there was a, implicit threat that Kara should come alone, you hear Gwen say she probably likes that under her breath. Maybe only Alistair hears that.
Sorry.
I want to go with Io hearing that as a more natural way to mention
Anybody
it's
can
like,
hear it. It's fine. Yeah.
Good, because I wanted to be like, and at that point, that's also where it's like, by the way, none of that. Her name was Kira. The weird blue-gray tiefling was Kira. Does that ring a bell, Shiv? Do you know what Kira?
This is Nalani now. She turned my She turned Lyra into, like, stone for a second.
Yeah.
What do you mean turned her into stone? Like how?
I mean,
Her
turned
touch.
her
Or basilisk? Was she a
stone.
basilisk? Oh, go ahead.
And I assume she wasn't breathing because she gasped when she came back from that. What's this? And points to the ground on like where the ladder thing is. And Huxley goes, "Oh, cool. Yeah, check it out." Like puts it up.
Okay. So, okay.
Great. Nalani
Well-
just goes up to the walkway.
Okay, well, to be clear, everyone in this room, and probably Lyra, because you've spent so much time there now, is now a known associate of Kara's. Which means going out looking as you do will be incredibly dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I got a new spear though, so you know.
Did
I
she
think
leave
that'll-
you alone? Like, right, when you left Io, you left with her. Did she leave you alone, Gwen?
It's a mutual decision in the moment.
You know, I've been thinking about this, and so you know, people get upset with Kara like leaving or doing things, but you guys, I mean, a couple of you are kind of you're like smart, and so you do like, you know, you test things, right? And when you test things, you see what happens, and then you kind of see the result. And Kara, she always comes back. Like, so after so many times, even if it was like stuff that was dangerous and the things that happened were dangerous, if she keeps coming back a certain number of times, how many times does that test have to happen before it's like, you know, you write it down as like a I don't know whatever it's called. It's a science thing, you know, that like.
I follow what you're saying, little man. Honestly, Kara, I don't know how this went down, but I know Kara, Siobhan, Shiv, whatever you did, I know you made the best decision you could have made with the tools you had at your disposal, especially if this went down like how you guys say it went down. I don't think we need to get hung up on that. We need to.
Don't disagree with that either, Io. But the problem is she doesn't trust any of the rest of us to also be making the best decisions in the moment that we can make.
And frankly, Io, their stories don't match, so we don't know which decision was the best.
It was the right decision to split up. That was the right decision.
I agree. I was able to get Brahm arrested. He was
Okay.
thoroughly subdued after assaulting a number of guards. It will take a lot to get him out, even with his connections.
And I mean,
Good.
you wanted to see Hadrian, so I mean, that's kind of. I mean, it's good in some ways. I mean, I guess it was always going to be dangerous, I suppose, to see him. Although, I guess if he knows you're you, that's more dangerous. But are you going to
They
go
all
alone?
know I'm a changeling somehow. And I mean, that's an assumption I've been making for a while. But it's still...
And that's something you don't tell people normally.
No.
Hey, Al, you can see magic, right?
Yes?
When Kara shifts,
No.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. So,
I can detect auras. Kara's is distinctly Fey. As is Iliar's, as is Siobhan's, as is anyone. She is Fey.
Is it like a color or is it like a flavor?
It's a color. You have the same one, Yori.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
I
not
would.
a bad thing. I didn't mean it that way. I'm just saying. This is a low-level spell. Anyone in this area probably. Hell, Huxley probably has different gadgets around here that could do that. It's not difficult. The magic shop we went to has plenty of talent and abilities. By the way, did you stop moving your ankle? Did you make it to the library today?
Yes, and I really want to tell you all about Io's failed, doomed romance, but I can't think straight right now. So,
God,
Did you bring
come
back any
on,
books?
y'all.
no,
So-
you have to have an address to take out books. We
We
don't
have
really
an
have an
Huxley,
address.
what's
address.
the address?
I didn't want to give away the
It's
address.
1-2 go fuck
Puffy
yourself.
Lane? Oh,
Yep.
okay. Yeah.
I like that one too. That's good.
All right.
I'm just gonna point out another thing here. So, what Alistair said is 100% true, even though it's whatever disguise you guys are gonna have are gonna fool the average person, even a low-level spellcaster. But there are plenty of things that can be used to see beyond that. Both of you, were followed last night. I heard talking. If either of them happen to be able to see beyond what disguise you had, Siobhan, they would know who you are.
How long have you been suspicious?
It would take. Obviously, there are means of detecting whether an individual is Fey or not. But to see through a changeling is something else entirely. This isn't illusion magic. This is my physical form that's changed.
I'm just saying that obviously
Pest could see it though. That corrupted sickness, whatever the hell he was, he could see it.
what's a pest?
Pest. He's a little shithead of a halfling who's associated with kidnapping my daughter. We tracked him to the city.
Oh, okay. So is he associated or not associated with? Who's he with? All right, you know what? It's time.
He's a free
and you
agent.
see him start to like. You know what he's bringing out? He's bringing out a big
The
board
pins
that
in the
just
yarn.
like the conspiracy board. And goes, all right, okay, all right. So,
When
what do we know?
Looks at him and says, "In my bag, I've got lots of different color strings."
You want? Okay, you want me to? Okay.
Actually, her ankle is broken.
Yeah.
Did you-
Okay. It's just a.
Her ankle's broken.
But there's like it's like a female thing, right? Like you don't go in the. No. Okay.
Giving you permission.
Goes through. Oh man, it smells so musty in here. Grabs a bunch
Probably.
of string. Yeah.
It's
Grabs a
probably
bunch
lots
of
of
string.
books.
Yeah. Grabs a bunch of string and just starts to kind of connect things. And we'll say we're going to take a break here on this, but there's a certain point where we start to kind of like try to like plan out. Okay, who's associated with who, and where is there a connection that we either think or we know. But yeah, we'll say with that as you guys try to figure that out and plan that out while Nalani is full on moping up on the catwalk. We'll take our 10-minute break. We'll see you guys in 10 minutes. Bye bye.
Rolled over a 12 on any of them.
All right. Welcome back, gang. So I think like cutting to like truly maybe like a minute ahead to all of a sudden where there's like I believe 5 categories, I think would be a way to kind of make this work. So we have like markers, like the full on like level of like markers and then like string to attach to them. So we have Thieves Guild. Actually I guess it would be 6. So Thieves Guild. The Demon Lilies, the jeez, I forgot their name.
Concord?
My whole
Violet
brain
Sisters?
just broke. Sorry. Crystal Concord, Violet Sisters,
Red Thorns,
Red Thorns,
Burning Rose.
Burning Rose. Who's the Demon Lilies?
And the Demon Lilies, yeah.
Yeah, Burning Rose is you guys, right?
Yes. The
So,
Demon
yeah, so-
Lilies is the that's Larkin's.
Oh,
They're the gambling crew.
gotcha. Yeah,
They own
okay.
all of the gambling halls and stuff. Mhm.
Cool. And then also the compass. So just putting that in there just in case.
Mhm.
So separating that out and then just going like step by step each person. So we'll say like someone shout out an NPC.
Oh, Larkin, Demon Lilies.
Larkin, Demon Lilies. Association with anyone else?
The Demon Lilies. Where did I write? Were they absorbed already?
Yes.
Yes, they've been absorbed by the Burning Rose.
Right.
Larkin was a very close friend of Kara's, though, and hated Hadrian when she
Right.
knew him.
Also, you know that information is not up front. So basically, like the Demon Lilies are still working as the Demon Lilies, but they're essentially answering to the Burning Rose.
The Burning Rose, yeah.
Cool. Someone we'll get someone else to yell out no.
Marion, which one is his again?
Red Thorns.
Okay. What do we know about him?
They made an alliance with the Violet Sisters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or
We're in the process of an agreement.
process of it. And it, if I'm remembering correctly, the Sons were not on board with it.
There's some
Seemingly
kind of
Sun's
rift.
not. Yeah.
Right. And never mind, I lost my thought.
And where do they operate out of?
They're in the
South Warrens.
South Warrens. Them and the Violet Sisters are in the South Warrens. The Demon Lilies and the Burning Rose are in the North Warrens. And of the sons, James, we've met. He's the middle child.
Mm-hmm.
There's a younger one, Aiden, and an older one, Davi.
You'll be able to
We don't
spot
know their
James. He's the one with the limp.
What was the younger brother's name?
Aiden,
Aiden.
and the oldest is. I'm sorry, switch that. The oldest is
I was
Aiden,
gonna say. Yeah.
and the youngest is Davi. We don't know what their allegiances are.
So there's 3 brothers.
There's 3 brothers.
Okay.
So, out of curiosity, if Hadrian, who is the leader of the Burning Rose, correct,
Mhm.
were attacked, how many of these gangs would come to his defense?
At this point, potentially all of them.
Okay, so we need to reduce those numbers
That is
somehow.
an ambitious objective.
Not
The
everything.
only one
has to be-
you're definitely not sure is the Crystal Concord.
Hmm.
I'm
The
not
Violet
saying we need to
Sisters
kill them
are
all, but if we can sow distrust amongst the gangs, then Hadrian gets left out to dry, or we create a problem somewhere else that needs the attention of the other gang.
Did you learn
You cut out
anything
really
at
bad
the Thieves Guild?
And where does the Thieves Guild? Yeah, where do they lie in all of this?
Essentially, hired hands. Just depends. They could be everywhere, or they could be fully involved, or they could be not involved at all.
Mhm.
With each person, I do know that Daphne's a part of the Thieves Guild.
I'm sorry,
And,
what?
Rashrathusk is dead.
And Rasha Tusk is dead.
Should I care about Rashrathusk?
He
Not
was
anymore.
the head of the Thieves Guild, but he's not anymore, so.
Death tends
Um,
to end employment.
Huxley,
Mm-hmm.
does the name Sahib mean anything to you? She's saying this loud enough to the whole room, too.
Cool. Yeah.
Does he have a connection to the gangs?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's nowhere near here. I think he works at Azumare. But he's a pretty powerful dude over there. I mean, I'd imagine if anybody would have any connection to... If he would have any specific connection to anybody, it would be Marion
Willie's? Or Marion, yeah.
with the slave trade.
I saw Yamanas while I was in the guild, Huxley. And he said that Sahib was the one who purchased my daughter, but she never made it there. So something happened on the way.
You see him make like another bubble way off to the side, like
Sahib.
Sahib.
But she never made it, so whoever was transporting her, either something happened to them or they double-crossed him. And I would assume maybe the Draftins were transporting her, but with... Hadrian does have the means. Kelvin can transport. They typically don't touch live transport, but that doesn't mean they can't start now.
Right. Well, we know, and actually, I would say above board, Huxley doesn't know this, but obviously, I know this. We know who the people are, more or less, that did take your daughter, don't we?
We know
Looks
Pest was
looks
there.
at Gwyn.
Yeah, there was Pest and two others who were there. One was a woman, and I'll describe them. See if I can remember them right now.
You guys, go back in my notes. When was that?
And where is Hadrian located?
In
Do we
the
know?
North Warrens with the... Well, I mean, the gang is typically situated in the Northern Warrens, same place as the Demon Lilies, but I don't know where he's living nowadays. If he's still there or if he's moved.
His lady love, what was, she was a
She worked for the Violet Sisters, from what I understand.
Violet
What?
Sisters.
From what you remember of Hadrian, let's
Mhm.
assume he doesn't live where they operate. Let's assume he lives outside. If there was a threat to his operations, would he hole up, or would he go to the threat?
I would say it depends on the threat.
You also know,
I
like,
believe-
Siobhan, when you left, Hadrian absolutely would have gotten to the threat, but he wasn't as big as he was now.
Yeah, exactly. So I believe if it was a significant enough threat, he may go, but he would bring everyone with him. But if it's a minor threat, he's not the kind to bother himself with dealing with it. That's why he has people for that job.
Just why we haven't seen him yet.
Mhm.
Okay. So pushing a little closer to home. Brahm.
Clearly wants you dead for some reason.
Right, but associations.
The Burning Rose.
Is
he was a
though?
pirate before.
Like, is he
but-
really loyal right now? Weren't he and Yanshai talking about their plans?
Well, I don't know. I didn't get that far in the conversation before he was blasted off the deck.
Anyway, speaking of the Burning Rose, we can add that Kira, along with the orange tiefling.
Well, hold
To
on.
that
Wait a
list.
minute. You guys are moving ahead. So who do we know is associated with Brahm? Or Brahm is associated with?
Brahm and Yanshai both work for the Burning Rose. They have since the beginning. We were all there. 6 of us in the beginning.
Someone roll we'll call it an investigation check for Huxley.
Can I
Not
do
me.
that?
I don't volunteer.
Oh, investigation. I'll do
I
it.
was about to say I already rolled it, but if someone else wants
Yeah,
to
rolled
take
it. You rolled it. What is it?
I have a 9 on the die.
Cool. Awesome.
Can't roll either.
Incredible. 9. His investigation is plus 15.
Holy shit.
That's his highest one. Cool. So he goes, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. So Brahm tried to kill you,
Yes.
That's what she says.
and Brahm's a part of the Burning Rose.
Mm-hmm.
So why would Nalani get a message to give to Kara at the same time that Brahm was going to kill you?
Maybe he wasn't trying to kill me. Maybe he was just pulling me in while we were having a nice conversation.
Or maybe the
Okay.
left hand's not talking to the right hand, much
I
like
think it's more on
James and Marion.
that. The attack, that the bank robbery or whatever, went on without any of the heads of the gangs knowing about it.
Right. But Brahm is... I mean, does Brahm work alone a lot?
No.
Does he do things on his
kind
own?
of. So his job when I left was essentially all of our coastal procurement operation. He's our pirate.
Right, but do you think that includes, like, killing a former lover of the big boss on the docks? Let's assume that that's a possibility. So that doesn't make any sense. Why would Huxley, that's me. Why would Hadrian want you dead and then also send for you at the same time? Unless Brahm...
Was working alone?
Huxley, who hired you?
Who
7
hired
years
me?
ago?
Hadrian.
You see, that's interesting because Yamanas is not known to lie. Would you agree with that statement?
Yes.
He said, no one in the Burning Rose intended any harm to me. I don't think it was Hadrian who hired you. I think it was perhaps someone else. We know of a few changelings in the city, a few people who can change their appearance. Would there be any way for you to tell at that time? Thinking back, was there any hints that it maybe wasn't Hadrian?
I was in Eriscar when I got the call.
But you said you saw him? Or you only
Yeah.
heard him? He was...
Well, I saw... short answer, yes, it's possible. I saw a vision of him. It was very disrupting. And he was asking me to take this job, and it was enough coin, and so I said yeah. I could have used it at the time, so no, I didn't double check because I don't have any connections over there anyways, and I assumed that this was a under the table mission. Why he didn't use his own? That's why he doesn't use his own guy.
So, running theory I have going is that Hadrian is in the dark about everything that has happened to me and my family, starting 7 years ago. And someone else has been trying to get me out of the picture for a lot longer.
Yeah, or somebody got to the old man, or it's not the old man.
So suddenly Hadrian's not the bad guy now?
I don't know.
And with all of this, just who is the person asking to see you tomorrow at your old meeting spot? Who else would know where you guys' old spot was?
So
Should
Kiki
only be
above
Hadrian.
board. Yeah, above board, I imagined you would make that up. So.
It should only be Hadrian. But also, the gang shouldn't have known I was a changeling. But I guess it's not.
Also, do you not know of I mean, I know you ran with a lot of tieflings, but did the people I described sound familiar to you at all? I mean, for them to know such an intimate detail, you'd think they were at least familiar with who you are.
Well, I mean, it's been
I've been gone for
7 years.
Exactly.
I mean, I hear that, but what's your old meeting? Then again, I guess if he gave them the order from on high, I suppose that they don't really need to know specifically where that is.
Also, the fact that they knew Nalani specifically would have that information means we were probably made before the incident on the docks anyways. It is absolutely not safe to go out right now.
Yeah,
Not
actually,
looking as we do.
The only-
I don't really know if it's
When would-
safe to stay here either, so.
When would there be a time when Milani was seen?
the robbery.
The robbery.
Yeah, the
So-
orange guy said.
And you see,
Said
like,
something.
Huxley looks around and goes, "You were all involved with that."
That's what I'm saying. Everyone has been made.
I looked bigger at the time though, so maybe like if I go out as I am now, like they won't recognize me because I look a little older when I'm.
If only. I mean,
So-
little man.
Yeah.
At this
if
point, I
Marion-
think they even see through my mask.
If Marion deals in slaves, like, where do they go? Where do they keep them? Is it?
I think he
Do the
takes
people
a lot
here in
to
the
hoss
city
them
have
all.
slaves?
Yeah, I mean, he takes a lot to hoss them all, from what I know. Some to Azamare. He sells the
No,
prettier ones
here
to the
in
Violet
Dare's Wharf.
Sisters. Yeah,
Here
here
in
in Dare's
Dare's
Wharf, he
Wharf.
would sell the prettier ones to the Violet Sisters.
Where?
But you have to keep
The
them somewhere
Violet
before
Sisters.
you sell them.
You can yell all you want. It doesn't answer the question of where he would keep them.
If you sell them to the
Warehouse, a
Violet Sisters, it
building.
would be the Blooming Orchid, right?
Yeah, but he
Right
wouldn't
before
keep
they go
them
to the
there, and it's
Blooming
not like
Orchard.
we know where other gangs hide their merchandise. That's not how
Oh,
that
you're
works.
asking where is
Where
his
he stores
intake
people,
of
yeah.
Where are the
Gotcha.
slaves being
There-
kept? We don't know.
I could tell you where the Burning Rose used to bring in their materials, but that's something that's very secretive.
What if we isolate the problem? Right now, everyone's moving around. We don't know where they're at. There's a lot going on. If we can disrupt enough people at the same time, everyone goes into lockdown, right? If the Burning Rose feels threatened, then they all retreat back to their operation base. The same with the Demon Lilies, the Violet Sisters, everyone. If we
How
can
do you propose to do that?
Look at Yori. How much gunpowder did you bring?
About as much as it's one of those barrels, that's on the ship. It's. I mean, you don't need a lot. You could fire a lot of cannonballs with that.
He let me know that today, by the way.
Yep. So
yeah.
half the gangs are in the North Warrens. Half the gangs are in the South Warrens. We can assume that Hadrian is his new fiance, or probably staying somewhere else. If we can get all the gangs on lockdown, then Hadrian is minimally protected. We just need to find out where Hadrian's at.
We know where
Are you
Hadrian's going to be.
proposing blowing up half the city? Just to
half the
scare them into
city?
hiding?
We don't
It's
have
not going to be that
we just
much.
need to we just need to make them feel threatened enough for everyone to go back to where they're at. The streets
Have you ever
empty.
been in a gang war?
Have you?
She
Have
is
you
an
been gang
ex-gang
Yes.
member, so
Absolutely.
I would say yes.
People
I've
don't
been in
go into
like
hiding.
war wars.
Violence is met with violence here.
Is that like a gang
You
war?
start blowing up different sectors of the city, other people are just gonna react, and then the city will be on fire and in riots.
Not to mention,
Okay.
people already know who we are, and there's.
Violence and riots keeps us protected.
I doubt it.
How do you doubt? The whole city's not going to come after us if they're worried about retaliating against someone else, or protecting themselves. Then no one's paying attention to us.
The
Here's the
problem in
thing.
those situations is that violence often becomes anarchic. And it doesn't matter who you're with. People are just enacting on their worst instincts.
So you're telling me we could create a situation where they kill each other for us, and you're upset about this?
Really seeing a downside to that.
Like am I not
and all the
understanding
innocent people, and the poor people, and the hurt people, and anyone who gets in their way. And all the business owners and shop owners will lose all their livelihood, or their lives themselves.
Okay, I just thought you wanted to get your daughter
Inciting a
back.
gang war, you would think inciting a gang war is going to get my daughter back?
Not to mention, it. Even if your plan, Al, worked, there's still a chance someone in any one of these gangs is going to be able to trace it back to us. Then all they need to do is get one of us. And, I mean,
don't they?
We'd be signing our own death warrants if we don't play
Isn't
We
that
that.
just
already
agreed
the
that they
case?
already know who we are, and this is already spoken. The only thing you said in that made 100% is they only need one of us, and it's not me.
There's throwing grease onto an already open fire, though.
I don't understand how this is a bad idea. If they're so fixated on everything else, then we can have a better chance of going by unnoticed.
I don't know.
Sneaking has worked how well so far?
Well, I mean, it did open up one thing, so we know.
But
Which,
kind
if if the head of the snake is Hadrian, which, just gonna say it, Siobhan, there's a lot of areas that point there. We do know where he's gonna be at. Days from now.
We know where he's going to be at tomorrow at noon as well.
Maybe.
Well, if you decide to go alone, we may not have to worry about this any further anyways.
I think I'm gonna say something that I can't believe I'm gonna say. Siobhan, I think you should go alone. If there is any sign of I keep saying Huxley, that's me. I have a +5 to intelligence.
What?
If they, yeah, what? If there's any chance that Hadrian is not pulling the strings with this, then there would be, if there was some way we could find that out for sure, then we know our plans would have to change. If we're not sure, then we assume that he is the main problem. And we take him out at the wedding. Nalani, you already got a date, right? You just hear Nalani go, maybe.
So,
Okay.
means I know sometimes some of you like talk to each other from like really far away. Kara, can you do, or Ilyar, can you do that? Can you talk
No.
to people from really far?
No.
Can someone like make something? I know that like Daphne had something, and or
We can make
I just
it
feel
one
like
night.
she could go like alone, but we could be close. Like maybe, even if we were like a couple blocks away, or, and then if something went wrong, she could tell us and then we could help. That way she could go, but not be totally alone.
Huxley looks at Alistair.
Yeah, I could probably whip something up first thing in the morning.
With the two of us, we can make probably 2.
Okay, so here's a couple concerns with that. And I'm not trying to be difficult, but Alistair, will you be able to walk tomorrow by noon? Gwyn, will you be able to walk tomorrow by noon? And for everyone who can't cast a spell to disguise themselves, will you be able to disguise yourself convincingly enough?
She's got a
I'm
point.
not going to just stay in this warehouse. That's not an option. So at some point I have to leave. If somebody can disguise me, great. But otherwise, I'm not. This isn't my new home. I mean, I have to take Fenrir for walks. He's got to, he can't stay in here. He's just pooping in corners at this point.
What?
It's just a warehouse, and there's no grass outside.
You said
understand.
corners.
Yeah, well, he's sometimes he's kind of fickle, and
He can't pick one?
The first one didn't. Well, I think the first one, something moved over by it, so he got a little spooked, and then he went to another one.
You're right,
All right.
I understand. I just want you to understand that a considerable number of bad people likely know what you look like and will hunt you for information about me. Do you
Okay,
understand
but
that?
What is the other option? So I can either stay
Disguise
here
yourself.
for
Hide
all
yourself. Find a way
I-
to disguise yourself.
Is there a way to disguise myself inside this warehouse?
I was
I'm
thinking
sure we
about
could-
going to visit the Temple of Ilmater. if once I'm able to move, if you want to go do that.
I have a disguise kit that can help. We could probably dye her hair, put a cloak on, something like that.
If we agree that we don't go out at night either, where it gets significantly more dangerous.
That too.
Because nighttime is more dangerous?
Here,
Thought that's when like you can hide and stuff.
We don't
Oh.
know how they're seeing who Siobhan is.
But also, like,
So
if they can see who Siobhan is, can't they just see through like a dyed hair and a change of clothes?
if you're in a crowd of people, maybe not.
And it's doesn't hurt to try. To at least take steps and precautions rather than to just go out with no type of disguise.
Didn't you say Gwen was invisible? Can you just make me invisible or something?
That only lasts an hour, and I can only do that twice a day.
Is the meeting in like an hour's fly away?
If you really
I
have to
don't
go
know,
out,
a little guy. I've never flown in this city, so I can't really gauge distance and time in that manner.
You could like ask a bird.
Cannot, in fact, ask a bird. I don't know how to do that.
Oh.
little man, if you really need to go out, I'll lend you the mask, but that means I'm staying hidden.
I think so. Let's make sure above board we're clear on what we're talking about. Are we talking about going out in general or going out to assist Siobhan in this meeting?
Right, that's kind of what I'm.
I don't think we've been clear on that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about going out in general at any point in time.
Also,
Considering
Right,
I guess
that's
you
what I
kinda-
thought.
To go get breakfast anytime.
No, I mean, I don't. I mean, that wasn't the point. The point was you just let that, like, you know, to go out to be there when you go to that meeting, like,
Right.
And also,
So that's what I'm saying.
like,
So
above
make
board-
sure you're just clear on what you're talking about on that.
Yeah. Do you know like where, again, in the city the like meeting would be, so that you might know like where a place we could hide nearby was and stuff. And
Above board, I
I-
did spring this on Kiki.
Have
Yeah,
not
in that
personally
moment, so-
decided that yet.
Yeah.
I'm still looking at the map. I'm
Yeah.
trying to find the map again. Actually, I can't find the map.
if it's closer,
While you're doing that, I
that's a
think Gwen
difference
would
too, yeah.
say, I think that there's a benefit to doing physical disguises at this point. If they can see through what Io does is just an illusion. Seeing through illusions is pretty easy. But if we do a physical disguise well, that might be
Mhm.
better than a magical one that can be seen through.
What if we go out and we pay all the like homeless people and kids on the streets to dress up like us, and then there'll be like lots of different versions of us,
I don't
and then
want homeless kids to get kidnapped and tortured on my behalf.
What if you hired a Matt? Are you
a
watching?
halfling-
Hire a halfling.
prostitute, a halfling prostitute.
Why does it have to be a prostitute? I don't understand.
not all halflings are prostitutes.
Not all
Let's
halflings
just
are
be clear.
Only some. So yeah, so I think like above board, I think one of the things that is tricky about this is knowing that the assumption is that Siobhan is going to go alone, according to them. Or at least that's what's been asked. So you have no idea what defenses the other, if any, the other party is going to have on knowing or perceiving that you guys are going to be there. So that's what becomes difficult in that.
And I think just to sort of move forward, Kiki, I feel like it's kind of up to you. I think your character could convince. I mean, I don't think yours necessarily just going to follow you without your permission. And I think if we were there for a long enough time that you would convince him that you need to go alone, I think that's okay. So it's kind of up to you. If you want to go with a plan that and I guess everybody else has to be okay with this too, but if you want to go to the plan that we stay near you and you can alert us, then we'll do that. If you're going alone, then I'll back off of that. I don't want to have that, argument all night in character or something like that, so.
Right.
So that's I'm okay with your call.
I was just say Alistair probably would put his hand on your shoulder and look at you and go, she doesn't want you there, Yori. And then I will just look over at Siobhan.
I don't want any of you to get kidnapped and tortured and killed for information about me.
I don't even
And the
think
way you
it's
look right now, that makes you targets.
the other factor here is we don't know what they know.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're going to actually get any real information from Hadrian, anyone else that's around might risk that happening.
But if you don't know where to go and you're at a crossroads, you just pick one and then you go. If you don't know which way leads to where you want it to go, you could stand there all day, but you won't get anywhere. So you just have to pick one. And that's a risk. Everything is a risk that you do. And we agreed, Iliar, that we take on the risk of your life, of what you're doing, of finding Maeve. That's our choice.
So I acknowledge and I accept that you guys take on that risk, but I think we have to be smart about how you take on that risk.
If we don't know the
knowing that
information,
your physical appearance is clearly known by a large number of criminals within the city, and you will likely be hunted, that's not a reasonable risk to take to just go out.
is it a reasonable risk for you to go out by yourself
No, that's not.
and go to a meeting where you don't know what's going to happen?
And also,
Who's going to be there?
It's very important for me to understand that as you're telling us that we need to be smart about our approach, they all know our physical appearance and that we're connected to the person they want to kill, Kara. Why? Was it you that ran into a large crime scene and yelled, "I'm back" as Kara? Was that you? Gwen, that wasn't you, was it? No.
I was trying to create a distraction. I didn't think it would lead to this.
Right. And the thing is, you said we should be smart about this, right? And that was the decision that you made under pressure and stress, correct? You're under pressure and stressed right now. Why not let the others in this room help you make a decision before you run out and announce yourself to the world again, and then put all of our lives in danger?
So what are you saying? I shouldn't go to the meeting at all?
What I'm saying is you need to stop thinking that you are the smartest person in the room. You are not. You may know
I actually
more
haven't said
about this
anything
town.
about whether I want to go to the meeting or not. You guys have been discussing this whole time, so do not put words in my mouth.
You may know this town better than the rest of us, but you make bad decisions just like anyone else. A group decision needs to be made here. If you want to go alone, go alone. We'll just be remembered as the people that got you here so that you could do the thing that you needed to do. Or you could at least reward us for all the work we've put in to help you get here by letting us be a part of this and help you save your daughter. You hide information at every chance that you get. You only give us what you want to give us. And half the time it's not even enough for us to make an informed decision until after the fact.
So much.
It's okay if you want to go by yourself. I just want.
Okay.
I mean, you understand too that why I'm not arguing with you to be mean. You understand that I like you, and it's hard to see you go, and it makes me feel worried that you won't come back. And so when you do that, that's why I mean, I guess it's not really a strategy thing for me. I'm worried, and you can understand that. But if you want to go, I mean, I guess we should. I mean, I respect your choice. I just want you to understand that I'm not arguing with you to be a jerk or something, or because I think I know better. If you go by yourself, I worry you won't come back.
You were right before, Siobhan, when you said you hadn't told us what your thoughts. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't know the right thing to say. Clearly, I'm not smart enough to think about this.
I don't think that's what Alistair meant.
He said the same thing Yori said.
Yeah. Shiv, there's not really a right way to look at this. So at the end of the day, no, I want to just hear you out and see what you want to do with this. It's a shit decision, either way.
I think it's basic math. You have the choice to have Siobhan go alone, which means that she either gets the information or she doesn't. Or you have some of us hanging around. And there's a possibility of the same thing happening, but doubled because there's a chance that you're ruining it.
I will say that I think you, Siobhan, spend a lot of time worrying about us in tense situations. And maybe it's better if you do go alone so that you can worry about yourself. Because that's who's important to get out of there. And if you're worrying about us, I don't know if your mind will be on your daughter. So I trust you to make choices.
Like I said
You
before, you keep coming back. So just whatever you do, come back.
Siobhan, in this moment, give me a religion check.
Nine.
Okay.
Flash of
You want a
genius.
bardic?
Yeah,
you
I
can't
say
flash
let's
genius.
pile it on.
Yep, you can have a flash genius.
Okay, bardic
At
too if
plus
you want
5.
it.
I don't know what your bardic is at this level.
D6.
5?
5.
So
Okay.
19.
19.
Yeah.
You hear a voice in your head that says, "And you won't be alone."
If I go alone and something happens, it will be my fault. if I go alone and it works out, then it was the correct choice all along.
You go alone. And I, for some reason, am not able to protect you. You have 5 people in this room that would continue to carry out your request.
I know. And that's why I trust my ability to go alone. And I would
Real
rather
quick about
them
table,
not
are you
get
talking
caught.
out loud?
No, I'm talking to my god.
Yeah, I think this is...
Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm talking to my god.
I'll just
Like
go
you
talk
talk
to
to your
my
patients.
god. Results don't justify decisions. You agree, right, God? Okay.
I totally forgot what I was saying.
So the last thing that was said to you was that if you choose to go alone and something happens and you fail, you have 5 people in this room that will continue to
Okay, yeah.
do what you ask.
That's why I'm not scared to go alone. I'm more scared for them to go out and get tortured or killed just for information on me.
I think 19's pretty good. You get a response that says you can't control what they do. And with that, you feel that presence kind of leave for a second. Okay, well, she's been staring at nothing for like a solid 10 seconds. So, all right, so back to the board.
Wait, what is the...
Yeah.
What is the product? What are you supposed to... People do that all the time. And are you supposed to just wait and like stare at them? Or do you like go off on your own conversation? There's like got to be a social thing. Like it's... I just don't know what to do every single time. Is it like a normal thing?
Do what feels right in the moment, Yori.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, what kind of prestige would come with killing Kara?
Are you looking at Huxley when you say this?
I think I'm looking at him, but it's just kind of to the room.
Okay. I mean, of everybody in this room, I guess I would be the most apt for that question. 10,000 gold.
That's it. Wait, you took that job for 10,000 gold, Huxley?
I was desperate.
Oh, with
Also, I
inflation,
didn't know you. Get off my back.
Economics the way they are, that's probably 30,000 gold at this point.
Did you just introduce inflation into IMAX?
No, and then Huxley responds with, well, not really. It'd be more like 26,766.66666.
I mean, obviously I was rounding, Huxley.
I'm just saying, if you're going to do the math, do the math.
But
I just
again, another hypothetical though. Let's just pretend in a sandbox environment, Kara was standing in the middle of Dare's Wharf, and the entire city knew that she was there. Would it be like a dead sprint of everyone trying to get there to be the one that kills her, or would people just wait and see, or give Hadrian the go-ahead?
Is there anybody that would be like glad that you're back?
above table. Did I see Harper? I don't remember if we established if I saw her.
I think you.
I don't know.
I think you did. Maybe? I don't remember.
I think you heard the name.
I think Gwen only mentioned the cool cowboy guy.
Yeah, because
I mean,
Ilya left before that whole thing happened. Yeah.
so I had some friends in the city, but I mean,
What about the guards?
Brom and I were friends. The guards would definitely want me arrested.
Arrested,
I'm definitely wanted in some capacity.
but arrested, not killed.
Well, so here's the problem. Most of them are paid by the Crystal Conclave, who may want me killed.
But
Crystal
some of
Concord.
Concord?
But there's some good guards, right? And probably some people that would want to make a name
There
for
are.
themselves as well. I'm just saying that if this is not a suggestion, this is purely hypothetical, but if everyone in Dare's Wharf knew Kara was back and where she was, you could theoretically be saved by the guards in the event that things went the wrong way.
You're a what do you call it? A flirt. Anyone you know? No, not what? No. Anyone you know who seemed to have a lasting interest in Kara that would possibly prove as an ally? Enough
I
to
would've
question.
I would have thought Larkin, but the demon lilies have been absorbed by the burning rose, so I don't know how that relationship changed.
You don't know.
I don't. Isolde was another, but we never grew close, not like Larkin and I.
Where's his old now?
I have no idea. He never joined up with any of the gangs, as far as I know.
Okay.
And Larkin at least had money and placement and power. Had that.
Maybe he wants it back.
Maybe. Or maybe he's under whatever influence or sway the others are and wants me dead just the same.
Maybe. Anyone in the compass?
Not that I know. I never had good relations with the compass.
What about this phantom person? I know you don't know. I'm just saying.
I have no idea. I don't know who they are. I mean, they killed Rosh with us, so they're powerful.
Yeah, I mean, changeling to changeling.
They're a changeling?
You see Huxley go, what?
You just said changeling to changeling.
Yeah, we all knew that.
No.
We
You
all
didn't
knew
know
that.
the Phantom was a changeling?
I feel like we're missing some details here.
Okay, all right. Take a point of inspiration away. You see Huxley kind of okay, all right, so yeah, all right, you got me. When Alistair got hurt, I broke into the Thieves Guild and
Got your ass kicked, yep.
made an ass of myself, yes. But I almost I felt there was a moment when I mean, they're so short. They're like 5'3", 5'2".
You
and
just see Gwen glaring at him.
yeah, like about that height. And I didn't think there'd be a problem. And then they started doing something that I've never seen before. Not a magic that I recognize. Something that's not of this plane, I don't think. And I could tell my life, my soul almost was... It felt like my soul was leaving my body. And then Daphne told them to stop. And they
So
did.
this is a changeling with Daphne.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, Daphne.
Is this
Can't we just go to
missing?
Daphne? Oh yeah, you guys are
That's-
talking.
That's who... That's
Daphne
what
told
Daphne
us she
called
came
them.
here to find her changeling friend missing.
Makes sense.
Okay, so what about missing, who I guess is a phantom? I don't know them. Or maybe I do. Maybe they're the ones who hired you. Maybe they're the fake Huxley. Or Hadrian. Fuck, I did it too.
I'm Huxley. Yeah, no, I know. It's definitely a possibility. But I mean, there's just as likely a possibility that they don't want a mega gang to be forming either.
Yes. So how does this help us with our problem tomorrow?
On you going alone? Probably very little. On us making sure that... I think one of the biggest things that's going to be an obstruction in you getting what you want is the fact that you're not going up against one gang. You're going up against 4, seemingly. What if we could even the odds?
Are you saying use Daphne and Missing to turn the Thieves Guild against the other gangs?
They killed Rashra. They clearly don't agree with what his views were.
I don't think that's a bad tactic. That would be a significant, powerful resource on our side.
Just thought.
I mean, Daphne would help us if we asked, right? She's our friend. So I think she seemed nice. I think if we also, I feel kind of
To be
blind
clear,
in here.
we're asking her to initiate a gang war with the people of the Thieves Guild against other gangs. So while she is our friend, that is a big decision to make.
I was just gonna ask her for help.
I just want to make
Maybe
sure.
she could give us advice.
Again, still in a lot of pain for Marion, but did Huxley just reuse different words to say the same idea that I had and the one that you guys all told me was horrible?
Yeah, I was just gonna say you had
But
that
I didn't
idea
tell
an
you
hour
it was
ago.
horrible.
So
I wasn't
your
listening.
idea was vague and undirected, but his provided actual foundational...
Go ahead,
I
you can
lost
say
the
it.
word.
Oh, he solved the problem
there
of
was
innocent people
material to
dying?
it.
I wasn't paying attention. How did he do
he brought
that?
a solution rather than the problem.
Well, I still think we should maybe... I totally forgot that Daphne was in town, and I didn't know she was so strong.
Also-
She beat you up?
Yes, that
She
too.
stopped
When Alistair
somebody.
proposed this, we didn't
No,
realize
hold
that
on.
Daphne and her friend were in charge of the Thieves Guild now. We didn't realize we had those connections.
Okay. To be fair, I didn't know that Fenrir was pooping in separate corners of the warehouse. So clearly we're all keeping secrets from each other.
You can build the catwalk in like a few hours, but you don't know that animals poop?
I didn't know it was going to be more. I assumed there was going to be a corner. I assumed it was in Gwyn's room.
Hey, do you keep plants, Huxley? I mean, maybe you could turn it into fertilizer?
Does it look like I keep plants?
I don't know if you've shown us every nook and cranny of this place. I'm sure you haven't, actually.
Maybe you should. You know, they're kind of. It's good to have a little bit of green around, and it kind of makes things seem a little bit more.
Hey,
Grow your own
Alistair,
food.
help me out here.
I'm actually just gonna get Gwen really, really drunk, and cut into her ankle. So,
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my ribs and my spine is bruised from the big iron robot who punched me a couple times. So
come here.
Okay,
Beth,
robot.
Scott,
I was
we
just
did
gonna
word on
sleep.
you.
There's also that point where like the
That's
rest of you
funny.
also don't know that happened. So listen,
Yeah.
so that's the
Yeah,
other
wait,
thing.
hold
Okay,
on. What are you
so
talking about?
Huxley makes killer furniture.
You heal 16 hit points, Yori.
Thanks.
It was-
because somebody made fun of him in a bar or something, and then he needed to
all right.
build a robot to
felt
go.
small.
But he
You guys
wanted to ship it because there's not even a
fought
door
the
big enough.
robot?
Well, yeah,
Yeah, and then they
use
use the parts for whatever they were making, and now I have to rebuild it.
It's this, look, and I throw the spear, and it stops like a second after I throw it. See, it's the movable rod, but it's like a spear now, so I can throw it, and then it stops, and then
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it'll probably be useful.
That's awesome.
Hold on.
That is really cool.
Oh, I can fly.
Huxley, just out of curiosity, that large spherical metal thing you have over there.
Yeah.
Are you using that for anything? Can I reserve that? Pay you some money for that? Just to not use it? If you
Just
looked
use
at the
it, dude. Just use it.
Okay. Well, okay. Thanks.
Can someone teach me about money? Because I mean, I thought, like, you know, this is like a bacon was definitely less than I paid, which is less than like 1 gold. But then you can get paid 10,000 gold for killing somebody. Is
You
that?
paid-
I mean, isn't that?
26,700.
I think I paid like 5 gold for the. Actually, it wasn't the bacon; it was the pancakes. And
You paid
the
5
beignets,
gold
and
for bacon?
Is that not enough? Did we get a? Well, we didn't get the bacon. We put a reserve on the bacon, but then we got that's for the pancakes. Oh, you didn't get any pancakes because I put the
put
one
a
in my
reserve on
pocket,
bacon?
and then- yeah, because there wasn't any
apparently
bacon.
before
Some
we go for it.
jerks, some green guy, and like
Leona.
another.
All right, so
Oh,
listen.
Well, I
I
guess it
don't-
was like a cat.
I don't even
person.
know how to respond to that, but I'm going to be
So-
making some changes around here security-wise because now we know that they probably know where we are.
We'll need to do guard shifts at night for sure.
I can handle that.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't you have a gadget for that?
It's bird.
Well, it's not fair to assume that I have a gadget for everything, but yes.
Okay, I guess
Nice.
I need to get some sleep before my meeting tomorrow then.
You absolutely should.
Did you,
So,
above board, did you say what your decision was, or?
She did not.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'm not gonna question it or drag it on. Yeah.
so I think in this moment, as everybody kind of gets ready for bed, Alistair, are you gonna do a little surgery?
Yeah, actually, I mean, I'm assuming it's a small break, so theoretically, and you can tell me where I'm wrong, it could cut into it. I could use mending to heal the bone back, or anything else around it, and then slowly just mend back out.
Theoretically, yeah.
Theoretically.
You know,
Tell me where
Finn's
I'm
coming
wrong.
back in the morning to check on you. He can check on her too.
Yeah, but it's Gwen.
I love it.
I think Gwen is just like, yeah, do it. If he
Also,
fucks it up,
yeah,
we can fix it tomorrow.
2 points of exhaustion. There's no way you have any tolerance for the alcohol that you're imbibing. Cool. So Alistair rolled me a medicine check to make sure you don't hit a major vein or artery.
Speaking of that, I want to give him the help action as Io also has mending. And I mean, I'm not as close to Gwyn as Alistair is, but she's still one of his best friends.
You're pretty
so-
dang close, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you guys grew up together.
And before I even roll, I'm just gonna use Flash of Genius on this.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Can I give you guidance, please?
You
Yeah.
went to sleep.
Yes,
If
you
you
can
don't
give her.
want
You
it.
can give guidance. You can give guidance.
All right.
Give you
I think
Bardic.
if Siobhan comes over to give guidance as I'm drunkenly letting this happen, she's just gonna look at you and say, "I just want you to remember, if you go to see him alone, don't be an idiot. He's still a dick. You trusted me to help you with that." So just remember, don't be the mom who picks a guy over her daughter. That mom
Also-
sucks.
Oh, she absolutely
Oh.
looks insulted at that, and just goes to bed in the catwalks like that.
And
We're already on
that
thin
was-
ice, Gwyn.
That's such a good line,
so
though. That line makes so much sense. That's so good.
that is
You
Gwen's
see the
mom,
look
and
of,
she has
wow,
no filter.
fuck you, Gwyn.
Yep.
You really said that to me?
That's so good. As
Don't
Siobhan heads
apologize.
out, Huxley goes, "This guy must be like smoking hot, right? Like, to be concerned 7 years. Anyways, yeah, I'm Huxley. Alistair, go ahead.
Yeah,
I think
so
Huxley's drunk. I don't know what's going on.
after
Ben has handed him the
everything,
bottle.
after everything everyone has given me, we ended up on a 24.
Cool.
And I think as drunk as probably Gwen is at this point, I'll lean forward and like brush the hair out of her probably sweaty brow. And just go, we'll let Siobhan chase Hadrian, and we will chase the daughter tomorrow.
All right. I think she starts to say something else, but then passes out.
What do you think? You think he's tall? Is that what it is? It's a tiefling thing.
Last thing she does before she passes out, she puts her hands like this.
Incredible. Incredible. So good. She just went up a couple points in my book. That's good. And she's asleep. She's asleep.
She's exhausted.
Hey, can I show? Go ahead.
What was up with that comment about moms? You got that right, Al?
Yeah, 100%. And Gwen's not wrong. She's also tired.
I think there was more weight behind those words, but okay, yeah. Let's just make sure this bone's set right and blood's all good. Yeah, looks really good, man. You
Thanks,
know what you're doing.
I appreciate the help.
No
You should-
problem.
You should help more often. I know you came back with a new friend and all, but you still have friends here.
I know. I don't know. I feel like it's just hard trying to be what everybody needs, you know?
Just be yourself, man.
I guess you're right.
That's who I'm friends with.
Yeah. Let's make sure, yeah. Let's just keep doing some good work.
Did you guys have moms?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I've been meaning to talk with mine. Actually, I think she'd really like you.
Thanks.
Yeah, she was kind of the lady she was kind of everybody's mom in a way. So, yeah. And Al's mom, she's pretty cool, too.
Yeah, I didn't have a mom.
You have a mom. You're right.
I don't. Maybe can we get a
Nope.
book on what fairies, how they're created? I didn't. There was no mom in the Feywild, and at the Hearth Keep, you know, there were people, but there wasn't like a mom or anything. I was just kind of, there were a lot of rats.
Yep, probably one of those.
They're big rats.
In the Feywild?
No, in the Hearth Keep. They're in the walls. It's like I used to hunt them. It's kind of, I tried to be useful, and also it was kind of fun. When I first, it's not important, and rats aren't moms. I know that. So
You better hope. You might have just killed your mom.
Well,
I guess I don't know how fairies are. Yeah, I mean, rats might be fairy moms. It's not the most likely thing. I was just curious. That's all. It's just, Huxley, you probably have a mom.
Yeah, I think everybody should go to bed.
well, on that note, little man, there's also this concept of, I don't know if you ever heard it before, but found family, and sometimes, I mean, you might not have started off with a mom, but I mean, if you want one,
You'll be my mom?
Yep.
I
Yep.
don't, not exactly what I'm trying to
Like
say.
Maria could be my mom, I guess.
Well, I guess you do need a cover story as a mom, but I thought Shiv was doing a great job at that role, but I mean, I don't have the right hardware. I can be...
That's all right. Yeah, I get it. You know, the fire giants didn't want to be my mom either, so
Yuri,
no.
Yuri, listen, do you want to find your mom?
I really don't think I have a mom, and if we go down that angle, I'm kind of scared like Siobhan would be for everybody, because there's the people I was born next to I don't want to meet them. I don't think you want to meet them. They're not somebody you can deal with. But I do. I mean, you all are like my family now, and I get that. And I was just asking because I was more curious about moms than like that. I was like that I wanted a mom. I just was wondering, you know, because I didn't have that experience.
Well,
Because you killed her.
I didn't
damn,
kill.
man.
I mean, why would the rats be in the
Actually,
the
you wanted to show me
Hearth Keep
something?
was near Ariscar. I was
Hold on, I want to see
created
how hard
in
I
the
can push this. Hold on.
Feywild. The rats weren't in the Feywild.
Well, yeah, because they followed you to the. I'm just
There
kidding.
are a
Yuri.
lot of. Why were
I'm
there so
just
many
kidding.
of them?
I'm kidding. It was probably your dad. Anyways,
Oh, your mom.
what was that?
Nothing. I'm going to bed.
Oh. Man, that was...
So good. That's so good. Hey, listen. All right. So, for real. Looking at this board.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, we only got like halfway done with it, but I don't want to. The ladies are asleep, right? They're asleep.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I don't want to genderize anything here on this, and technically, it's not even a gender thing. But looking at everything adding up on how we know who took Siobhan's kid being a female, Siobhan's kid's captors, 2 of which we think are female, Prom changing his mind, and I think it's something we were just like kind of figure out above board, like after his apartment is close to the Blooming Orchid. And as I said before, those two things don't add up. I don't think... I hate to say it, and I will never admit it to Siobhan. Also because it makes me realize that I took money from them. I don't think it's hatred. I think it's the Violet Sisters.
Oh? If Siobhan goes alone tomorrow, we can go see Violet Sisters and possibly Miriam. Listen, I know you heard me and Yori talking earlier, but at the end of the day, if she came here as a slave and left here as a slave, then Marion's organization had to have something to do with it. He or they had to buy her from someone, or they were the ones that went and got her.
Yeah, you keep saying that. The issue here is that if we go to Marion, and I get the revenge thing, I get it. The guy also busted your kneecap.
It's a coincidence.
It's a factor to think about. Also, we do know that there are 3 sons.
Yeah. And one of them currently has a limp, and I know what he looks like.
All right. Yeah. No, you're right. Just as likely.
I mean,
I just think, you know, if we both were to, like, I agree. I think, you know, in the middle of the day, if we both go to the Blooming Orchid, you know, just you and me, I mean, we probably wouldn't have to worry about, like, distractions or anything, right? So
just can't help but feel like actually, I'm just gonna be honest with you, I feel like this is the distraction. You wanting to take me out.
what? No, I'm saying that's, look, the sooner we figure this out, the sooner you guys are able to get out of my warehouse. So that's what I think. And I guess I figured that you were, you know, you were smart. So, but, you know, if you don't think you're smart, that's fine. That's cool.
Okay. I'm not sure how I'm gonna get out of here without Gwen and Yori and Io and Nalani. Where are they going to be while you and I are alone at the Blooming Orchid?
I'm sure they'll figure out something.
How do I know I can trust you, Huxley?
You see him kind of take a step back. You're right. You're right. You see him walk off. Unless there's anything anyone wants to do that night, we're going to go into the next day. First off,
Siobhan
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we did it. We got to the next day.
Okay. She wants to get up extra early, obviously change back into her normal clothes.
Cool.
She wants to leave as early as possible and get there in advance and hide and just stake out the place.
Okay. Do you want to get there as early as possible before everybody else sees you go? Or is it that you just want to make sure that you're there early enough?
I think she wants to get there. She's not going to try to sneak out, but she's definitely not saying, like, goodbye to Gwyn for sure at this point.
Okay. You got it. So, like, if someone happens to wake up and see you leave, that's not a big deal to you.
I'm not
Gotcha.
being secretive, but she just wants to get there early enough to, like, find a place to hide and stake out the place.
Cool. You got it. I think, in the idea of where it is, I imagine it does take about an hour to get there.
Must be there.
Because of the the scaling of where to go. I think there's a like a pathway, but it truly is like it's a hike to get up there, because you're where you're going is illegal and therefore dangerous.
Can I make a roll to be able to have awoken earlier than her, to be standing at the doorway when she leaves?
I don't even think. I mean, yeah, go ahead and make a roll for it, but I don't.
Because
I think you can do it.
I don't know how early she woke up, so it's like not like I'm going to stay up all night to do it. I'm trying to wake up a little bit earlier.
I think
it's also Yori.
If Siobhan's not really necessarily being careful to try to get away from you guys, like the idea of like even like staking out this place, I imagine it's relatively small, so you know that you couldn't be there for more than like an hour without being intensely bored. Like it truly would only take maybe like 20 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I think you're at the door.
So did you end up getting a potion, by the way? He's gonna so he's holding the potion, the greater potion of healing that he got from when they went to the shop. As they distributed them at least there. I don't think you were there yet. So he's just gonna stand there, and as you're walking out, he's just. Will you take this? Just be careful.
Sure.
Come back.
Of course. And you guys just don't get caught, whatever you do today.
That's it.
You said it was a greater healing potion? I can't spell today.
Potion of healing greater is what I got.
Tangentially important, DM. What I know of any local myths or horror stories or anything like that involving aerial or involving dangerous mythological creatures in Dare's Wharf or the area?
Of the air? No.
Of the area.
Oh, of the area? Yes. Yeah, the Blackwater Banshee.
Sweet, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go fight a mythological creature? Let's go.
I'll wait till I'm awakened outside.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so I think from that moment, and it could be even before, right, necessarily. Like, I think, like, honestly, Siobhan, you wouldn't necessarily have to leave earlier than 10, right? So, right? I want to make sure there's nothing I'm missing in that. If there's yeah.
It was excruciatingly hard for Yori to wake up at 9:45 to be there at the door. It's the hardest thing he's done in his life.
The hardest thing he's ever done. Incredible. Yeah, I think the rest of you wake up in tandem. I do think Gwyn, roll me a Constitution saving throw as you wake up.
Why?
Why? You said why?
We
Take
put
away
into
a point of
your paper on
exhaustion.
Absinthe.
I need to eat food before I can take away that point of exhaustion.
Okay.
Constitution saving throw, you say?
Yes.
No, it's a 10.
Flash of genius.
Yeah. Okay. Go. The DC was 10, but yes, flash of genius. As soon as you wake up, as you're like,
Great.
but you're not
He's
taking
just sitting
mechanic
there,
damage.
As soon as Siobhan is out the door, Alistair will start his absinthe ritual looking through one of the windows. And I will cast Skywrite. So for the next hour, made of clouds, you will see the phrase, the Blackwater Banshee comes today.
Nice.
In the sky over the city and can be seen for a lot of miles.
Well, they are clouds, yes.
Incredible.
How much
Cool.
does this fuck with the other campaign?
No.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
So much.
They're just
So
so
much.
They went out at night.
So much.
I'm so sorry.
So much. We'll talk about that off camera, but it's so good. That's so good.
The goal is to keep people inside, indoors. I want the streets to be bare.
I love it. Yeah, cool. I will forget to roll for it. I mean, remind me to roll for it for next session, but I'll forget what the number is if I roll now. That's so good. I love that. Yeah. Io, you wake up as you're used to at this point in a small puddle.
Mm-hmm. And then just shape water to dry myself off like I've been doing for the past couple weeks.
You got it. Fenrir wakes up, picks a corner to do his business.
So gross.
So gross. So good
Like,
though.
he's
So funny.
real big too. Like exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's like we like
Prestidigitation could help a little bit with that, but I don't know if it can help a lot. one cubic foot at a time.
It's
Clean it up.
just yeah, it's a whole process.
they're stacked
the-
cubes. He's just like
Wombat.
yeah, but bigger cubes.
But bigger cubes.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to do? We'll say as we're kind of winding down here.
Does someone give Gwen food? Do we have any
Oh,
food left?
I
I'll
think there's
We have a ton
leftover
of
breakfast,
food, yeah.
probably. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm mothering you. Don't worry.
Cool.
Today, if
Alright.
I'm keeping is correct, would also mark a month together as a party.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's crazy.
Well, is that except for Yori, right?
Except for Yori, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
You're
That's
3
fine.
weeks.
That's good. Hasn't been that far away. Yeah.
Cool. Siobhan, roll me a luck roll, please.
Oh no. 19.
It's Hadrian's.
Cool. So here's what I think happens as we see Siobhan walking down through the takes. What does Siobhan look like right now?
I think right now she looks like some random chick. But once she gets into hiding nearby, she's like going to switch into Kara. But only when
Okay.
she thinks she's well hidden.
Cool. I'll say this. I think you're just about to switch. I think you're on the beach. You're seeing the first off, you definitely see the the message in the sky. You pass by several people who look
like
up.
Alistair's handwriting.
I don't know. That's a tricky thing with Skywrite.
If he has control over the way it looks, no, he's going for full on
Cool.
like the black
Bubble
water mage
letters.
is coming. Like,
Yeah.
it's dangerous out.
Okay, it's dangerous. Full Wizard of Oz style. You
Comic
see
Sans.
it. Yeah, Comic Sans.
No,
you see
chiller font.
Chiller
Chiller
font.
font.
Yeah.
You see like an old woman. I think how you notice it is that you see like an old woman come. Oh, hello. Beautiful day. Oh, dear God. And you see her just like rush in and slam the door behind her. You hear her yelling into other people in the house, like, she's here, she's coming, like, it's time. And you see most of the people who are responding to this are definitely older folks. But yeah, I think Siobhan, you see that and it's just funny. I think, but as you start to make your way along the beach towards the rocky sort of coast area, and knowing that, I think there's a moment where you remember that the path itself is extremely thin. And I think there's a moment as you're going, considering, like, what if it's broken apart? What if it's no more? What if it's eroded? And as you see the path, you see a figure standing back facing you. Doesn't seem to notice you. They're just staring up at it. As you see Hadrian.
Early.
Okay.
Are there's no one on the beach other than us where we are?
Yeah. Roll me a perception check.
I don't see anything. Don't even worry about it. Is there somewhere where I can try to, like, stealth a little?
Yeah, I mean, it's so I'd say the area where it is kind of towards the yeah, I think there's plenty of rocks around that you could but I will say unless he has eyes in the back of his head or has some sort of sense thing, he doesn't seem to be paying attention to anyone, even as you get closer.
I just want to, like, generally hide while I shift, because I don't want to shift out in the open where anybody
Right.
can see me. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like you said, you don't see anybody.
Yeah, but I know, like, pests and those critters are slimy and stuff. Can I just try to hide while I shift? Like, she's still
Yeah.
not comfortable shifting out in the open. Do I have to roll for that, or we're just saying it works?
Give me that stealth roll.
22.
The 100 beings I have that are hiding along the beach do not seem to see you. Switch.
You don't never trust the DM. That's why you gotta stealth. She shifts in the car up. Can I insight check him, like his posture? Like if he's waiting, like because he's contemplative or concerned about the meeting, or if he's waiting for a trap to be set or something like that.
Sure. Please do so, I would say, at disadvantage.
Oh. That was a natural 1. It was an 18, but now it's a natural 1.
Okay.
Okay. Fuck it, we'll do it live. She's gonna walk quietly behind him.
Okay.
He wanted to see me.
She's a figure. Doesn't turn around just yet without giving a big, long sigh. You were always able to sneak up on me. Hello, love. And with that, we're going to end tonight's session. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.